Chapter 9:23. On February 15th, Fang Ping and his party exited the Nanjiang catacombs. The trip to the emperor's tomb had come to an end. At this time, it was the 13th day of the first lunar month, the beginning of the new year, and the festive atmosphere had just faded. Not long after Fang Ping and the rest had returned to the surface, a list of names spread like wildfire on the internet. The Three Realms Wind Cloud Leaderboard. At the beginning of the world, the gods and demons appeared, and the three realms were divided in the heavenly realm. The emperors ruled the world. In the earth domain, the 100 thearchs ruled. In the human world, mortal martial arts flourished. There's no first in literature, and there's no second in martial arts. Who among the heroes of the three realms dares to say that I, King Wu Wei? Today, I have set up the Three Realms Wind Cloud ranking. Let's join in this grand undertaking. Among the heroes of the three realms, who will be the emperor? These lines of text opened up a new world for all of humanity. There were countless powerhouses in the three realms. There were 22 outer skies, 8 realms, 33 immortal islands, and many great emperors Bodemandas. This was under the command of a venerable emperor master. In the land boundary, the Earth Emperor God dynasty was divided into 4 royal courts, 36 dynasties, and 24 divine clans. These were the major forces in the land boundary. In the human world, the 6 great holy lands ruled supreme. The 3 ministries and 4 prefectures of Huan Nation formed their own system. The evil sects were exterminated, but not destroyed. With just a few simple sentences, all the forces of the world had come to life on the paper. Only forces under the command of true gods, apex gods, and true kings had the qualifications to be listed on it. The human world is divided into 9 levels of the martial path. Peak cultivators and venerable sovereigns are all 9 levels. This is not appropriate. There are many names for martial arts in the 3 realms. It's not appropriate. The 3 realms have always been one. The martial Tao runs through the 3 realms and should be unified. I've roamed the 3 realms for more than 1,000 years, roaming everywhere. Today, I'm listed on the 3 realms Wind Cloud ranking. It's divided into 12 grades of martial arts, and all the experts of the 3 realms can be listed. Rivertown, Governor's Office. Nanjiang's Reception Hall. The group of people took their seats. Fang Ping looked slightly exhausted. Beside him, Wu Chuan said in a low voice, "The 3 realms ranking list was not created by Minister Zhang. I'll just call Minister Zhang. Huan Nation doesn't have such statistics, nor does they have the capability to do so. Especially outside the Forbidden Sea. We haven't set foot in it at all." After he said that, Tianmu also said, "I just called the military. It's not just us, but the entire world is talking about it." Not only that, the catacombs and even the Forbidden Sea Demon Clan also had a ranking list. Not long after we left, a huge stone tablet appeared in the Forbidden Sea, and on it was written the reputation list of the 3 realms. Everyone chimed in one after another. Fang Ping rubbed his forehead and smiled. There's no need to guess who's behind this. Actually, it was very easy to guess that it was either unquestionable Jian or the Great Pope. Of course, this did not exclude the possibility that it was someone from the Heaven Realm. Some people wanted to stir up some trouble. What could be more eye-catching than setting up a martial arts ranking list of the 3 realms? Otherwise, how could the timing be so coincidental? We just finished dealing with the matter of the Emperor's tomb, and this list came out. Fang Ping was not too concerned. Right now, he had just come out of the catacombs not long ago. Seeing how worried everyone was, Fang Ping smiled and said, "Don't worry. You don't have to worry too much about these despicable people. I heard that the guy who made the list calls himself Daoist Fengyun. Have you found any information about him?" As he spoke, Zhang Dingnan said, "No." The detective department tracked down the source of the list and finally found a small internet cafe. Nothing was left. There was no aura, no surveillance. In short, there were no clues. This so-called Daoist Fengyun is definitely not one person. The catacombs, the Forbidden Sea, and Earth made the list appear at the same time. This is not something that can be done by one person. It must be an organization. Also, their strength will not be weak. Especially over at the Forbidden Sea, I'm afraid that there might really be an emperor-level powerhouse who made a move and set up that monument. The Great Pope and that bunch of people? This was the first thing that came to Fong Ping's mind. He smiled and said, "Whoever made this thing has no good intentions. The evil sect, unquestionable Jian, Li Zhu, or the remaining Heaven Realm disciples. These people could have done it." Li Hansong asked curiously, "Then what's their purpose?" Fong Ping smiled. "They said that there is no second place in martial arts. Maybe they want to set up a few targets. I'm afraid that the number one on each list will not be spared. Even if no one challenges you, you will still attract the attention of some people in the future. For example, the number one on the Emperor ranking list. Do you think this list will be made known to the three realms? When it comes to battle, in a situation where people are not united and a bunch of powerhouses are present, which one will they attack first? Of course it's the strongest. Then that's it." Fong Ping chuckled. A list may not seem important, but in reality, it's quite important. At least in this era, many powerhouses don't understand each other. It's more chaotic. In our era, there are too many geniuses from too many eras. For example, do the people of the God and Demon era know the strength of the Neo-Martial era powerhouses? Do we know the strength of those people in the Heaven Realm era? We don't know. That's why there's the action of Minister destroying the Emperor this time. If he knew that Minister was strong, would the Great Peace Heavenly Emperor dare to fight Minister alone? As Fong Ping said that, he lamented, "The person who made this list will not be weak. Or rather, the organization will not be too small. He has even gone around the Forbidden Sea. This is not something that ordinary people can do." Having said that, Fong Ping smiled. "Speaking of which, I haven't seen the list yet. Take a look. Looking at the list, I might be able to determine who this guy is targeting. The fellows at the top of the Emperor ranking list might all be his targets. Once the Celestial Realm Wall is broken, we still don't know how Emperor Avenue will appear and how to get out. But when the time comes, there will be no lack of Emperor Wars." After he said that, Wu Chuan, who had already seen the list, said in a low voice, "You're right. This person indeed has a plan. I'm afraid you can't imagine who he has ranked first." There were only 3 lists in the 3 realms ranking list. Emperor ranking list, God ranking list, Honor ranking list. Emperor ranking list recorded powerhouses with Emperor-level strength. God ranking list recorded paragons, true kings, and true gods. Honor ranking list, on the other hand, was the common list for everyone below the paragons. Fong Ping knocked on the coffee table and laughed. Number 1 on the Emperor ranking list. Let me guess. Heavenly King Suppression? Demon Emperor? Or Old Zhang? He felt that the probability of Old Zhang was not small. Someone might want to kill Old Zhang with excessive praise. Wrong. Wu Chuan denied his statement. With a wave of his hand, one of the walls in the living room automatically split open, revealing a big screen inside. Fong Ping chuckled. Governor General Zhang, Nanjiang, is still making this thing here. It seems to be very high-tech. Zhang Dingnan chuckled. It's beautiful. Let's get down to business. Fong Ping did not say much. He quickly looked at the big screen. After a glance, Fong Ping's expression darkened. He snorted coldly. It better not be unquestionable sword. Emperor ranking list, number 1. Gray Cat. Yes, Gray Cat. The number 1 on the Emperor ranking list was not anyone Fong Ping had imagined, but that cat. Gray Cat, raised by heaven and earth. Unparalleled combat strength. Favored by heaven and earth. Indestructible despite thousands of disasters. Known divine weapons. God Restraining Staff, Divine Peaking Mirror, Sky Bell, Sky Trapping Bell, Sky Destroyer Sword, God Slaying Saber, knows the location of the Heavenly Realm's ruins. Suspected to have entered the Heavenly Cemetery, the battlefield where the Heavenly Realm fell. Suspected to have the remains of sovereigns and ultimate path, Heavenly Emperors. Gray Cat collected their divine weapons, hid their corpses, and escaped the Heavenly Realm. Possesses many divine weapons. Suspected to know the combat techniques of various sovereigns. There are ultimate path, Heavenly Emperor combat techniques left behind. Clearly known. Gray Cat knows the Heavenly Hound's sky devouring technique. Knows the Demon Emperor unquestionable sword sky punishing technique. Knows the North Sea Emperor's Quokang treasure book. Knows. There were too many introductions about Grey Cat. The Heavenly Hound battle tactics that the old cat had mentioned had a new name for itself. Unquestionable Sword's technique also had a formal introduction for the first time. A cat with countless divine weapons. A cat that knew the combat techniques of several supreme powerhouses. A cat that knew the location of the Heavenly Realm's ruins and the location of the Sovereign's remains. Such a cat was the #1 Emperor level. Why not? Should such a cat be killed? Should they snatch it? What was a divine weapon? At the Emperor level, there were almost no weapons that could increase their strength. But divine weapons could. Powerful divine weapons were even useful to sovereigns. Each divine weapon had its own special effects. If it was a divine weapon that was mainly used for battle, such as the Sky Destroyer sword, it could even increase the combat strength of an Emperor-level powerhouse by more than 10%. What did this mean? If an Emperor-level powerhouse could only have a vitality outburst of 1 million calories, they could at least have a vitality outburst of 1 million calories with a divine weapon. This was a divine weapon. This was still the lowest. If one mastered the divine weapon, they could even have a stronger outburst. The key was not how much the increase was. It was that they could continue to use it. Perhaps they could use it until the Emperor realm. No one knew how divine weapons came about or who made them. It seemed that they had existed since ancient times. But now, how many powerhouses had divine weapons? In the 3 realms, the number of powerhouses who had divine weapons was known to the public would not exceed 5 people. As for Tsang Mao, a cat, it was known that he had more than 6 divine weapons. Tsang Mao. Fong Ping looked at the list. Fong Ping looked at the ranking list. It was a huge page full of introductions. His eyes were cold as he said, "You seem to know a lot about it. The Sky Destroyer's sword is in Tsang Mao's hands. You even know that it's the unquestionable sword?" Not necessarily. Tsang Mao had taken away the Sky Destroyer's sword previously. Perhaps no one had seen it, but it did not mean that they could not guess it. Where did the Demon Emperor get the Sky Destroyer's sword from? It was fine if Tsang Mao did not come into being. If he did, then Sky Destroyer's sword might be taken away by Tsang Mao. Tsang Mao is ranked first, the strongest powerhouse in the 3 realms. He's strong in divine weapons, strong in foreign objects, strong in his foundation. Fong Ping chuckled. Interesting. This is pushing Tsang Mao to the teeth of the storm. A cat that isn't that strong has a lot of divine weapons and knows a lot of secret places. If I had Emperor-level strength, would I have set my eyes on Tsang Mao? Wu Chuan glanced at him. He said lightly, "Of course. Even if you don't kill Tsang Mao and snatch his divine weapons, you would do something like this. Of course, others would snatch it. You're more likely to cheat and bluff." Cough, cough. In the field, many people coughed for a while. There was nothing wrong with what he said. The problem was that if he said it now, weren't he afraid that others would make things difficult for him? Old Wu must be out of his mind. Fong Ping was about to catch up to him. The gap between them was not that big now. They were almost the same. At this time, he still dared to say the truth? Fong Ping could not be bothered with him. He just needed to remember this. Fong Ping did not continue the conversation. He smiled. "I think so too. Actually, I'm still considered a good person. Unless I'm an enemy, I'm rarely tempted no matter how good other people's things are. If I'm like that, what about the others? Those Emperor-level powerhouses are going crazy now. They're all facing the end of their lives. Why do they come out one by one? It's all to improve their strength and increase their future opportunities. There are divine weapons, some powerful Emperor-level combat techniques, and even the hiding place of the Emperor's corpse. How can they not be tempted?" "You can still laugh?" Wu Chuan nodded. "This is troublesome. Initially, after Minister Zhang killed Tian this time, the humans had calmed down. But now that Tsang Mao's matter has been exposed, we're in big trouble. I have no doubt that someone will target Tsang Mao next." As soon as he said this, everyone nodded. It was really troublesome. Fong Ping also sighed softly, sighing. Money moves people's hearts. There's nothing we can do about this. But don't worry. I'll discuss with Minister Zhang on how to deal with it. Actually, he had already thought of something. Maybe Big Cat was going to suffer a little this time. Previously, old Zhang said that he would use the heavenly realm ruins as a lure. Would anyone believe it? Some people would, but some people might not dare to go even if they believed it. But now, a cat who really knew the location of the heavenly realm ruins. Now that he had nowhere to go, going to the heavenly realm ruins was a safe route. He still had many divine weapons with him. Fong Ping thought about it and shook his head indiscernibly. Song Mao was going to be a target this time. Speaking of which, could this be old Zhang's doing? For a moment, Fong Ping was a little suspicious. Although the possibility was not high, with old Zhang's personality at this juncture, in the final stage of the plan, to ensure that the plan could be carried out smoothly, it might not be impossible. As for the forces, Fong Ping did not forget that old Zhang had a good relationship with a true king in the catacombs. He had also been to the Forbidden Sea in the past. Old Zhang, you didn't do this, did you? If it's you, it'll be hard to explain. Fong Ping sighed in his heart. At the same time, Fong family. Song Mao was also looking at the computer. After staring at the screen for a while, it muttered, you only know that there are 6 divine weapons. You're so dumb. Fong Yuan stared at it with wide eyes. What did it mean? While looking at it, Fong Yuan looked at Jiao, who had collapsed the floorboards in the house with one foot. His round face was stiff. This dog was really too annoying. Smack! Song Mao swung its large tail at it, saying unhappily, Puppy becomes smaller and lighter. If you break the floorboards, you'll have to spend money to repair them. Jiao was very innocent and very curious. Was this the land of rebirth? Outside the villa, a few MCMU powerhouses were having a headache. Should they inform Fong Ping to come back and deal with this? Fong Ping's house was turning into a zoo. No one knew what was on Song Mao's mind. As soon as he came back, he slapped the gopher under the house and threw the phoenix spirit to the roof of the villa. In the small villa area, there were now 3 rank 9 demons and 1 peak-level demon. Fong Yuan was still inside. If Fong Ping had not said that Song Mao would be fine, they might not be able to bear the responsibility. Song Mao was not interested in the people outside. It smacked Jiao and said happily, This person is so stupid. I have a fishing rod, skewers, a knife to kill fish, a bell to wear, a mirror to watch the show, a gong to call for help. Why didn't he know that I have a wok? Fong Yuan continued to stare blankly. I don't always use the little dark house. I have a big wok. Song Mao squinted, very pleased. You don't know, do you? I don't use my wok very often. It can't be helped. I haven't caught a big fish in a long time. I can stew them without a big wok. Fong Yuan did not care about that. It asked curiously, Big Cat, you're number 1 on the Emperor ranking. Are you the strongest powerhouse in the 3 realms? I don't know. Song Mao was confused. Am I number 1 in the 3 realms? Whatever. Who cares? Do you know a lot of combat techniques? Can you teach me? Song Mao looked at Fong Yuan and rested its head on the coffee table. It thought for a while and said, No way. I can't teach you their secret techniques. Even if I did, you wouldn't be able to learn them. But that's true. You're a cat-brushing cat in the cat palace. You don't use much strength when brushing. Song Mao thought for a while and said, How about this? You'll become stronger after eating the beef. Then I'll give you a cat brush. You can become stronger then. Cat brush? For brushing, Fong Yuan was helpless and excited. Song Mao seemed to have many divine weapons. A brush for brushing. Was it a divine weapon? Fong Yuan did not dwell on it. She continued to look at the ranking and asked, Big Cat, is Heavenly King Suppression strong? Is he ranked 2nd? Is he stronger than my brother? Song Mao looked at her like she was an idiot and explained, Little chubby face, you're stupid. Liars are only at the golden body stage. There are false gods, true gods, and titled true gods, which is emperor level. But what we've learned before is only rank 9. Minister Zhang and the others are rank 9 too. But now, everyone says my brother can fight a rank 9, and Minister Zhang is on the emperor ranking now. Song Mao was depressed. It said, How would I know? Anyway, the fake human emperor is very powerful. He can kill liars with a single finger. Then, you're ranked 1st, the strongest powerhouse in the 3 realms. Can you make me stronger? I want to become an emperor-level powerhouse, too. You. Song Mao looked at her for a while and said gloomily, no way. I need to eat a lot of big fish. I can't catch any now. After a while, Song Mao squinted his eyes and said with a smile, fighting isn't fun. Learn how to cook. I can't find anyone to grill or stew fish for me now. It might be useful if you learn how to cook. Fang Yuan said nothing. Dream on. She would never do it. If I learn how to cook, I'll cook well. I still have a cabbage from the imperial family that I haven't eaten yet. I can cook it when the time comes. Song Mao was a little regretful. He had hidden it for so many years. He could not bear to eat it. Unfortunately, no one knew how to cook it. The chef from before had died. Otherwise, he could have had a feast. What a pity. Fang Yuan's eyes darted around. A cabbage from the imperial family? She had to ask her brother if it was a treasure. If it was, she could learn it. She could trick it first. Song Mao looked at the leaderboard for a while and stopped looking. He muttered, it seems like someone is still alive. Why isn't he on the leaderboard? Little chubby face, can I give this a bad review? Hearing this, Fang Yuan exploded. Don't use my account to give bad reviews. Big cat, if you give bad reviews again, I won't let you use the computer anymore. This cat was too mean. Not only did she use her account to buy a lot of things online, she even gave bad reviews, saying that the delivery was too slow, that the delivery was not professional, and that she did not let the cat receive the goods when they were delivered in any case. There were a lot of reasons, but none of them were good reviews. Fang Yuan had received a lot of calls, and the seller almost died of anger. Was it a sin to not let the cat receive the goods? Whose cat could receive the goods? Song Mao looked helpless. There was nothing left to live for. It was really slow. It was only a short distance away, and it took a few days to deliver the goods. Also, why didn't the cat receive the goods that I bought? That was infuriating. Shouldn't giving bad reviews be expected? Little Chubby Face was angry, but he could not be bothered. He said, Little Chubby Face, do you know how to cook beef? Also, if I eat beef, I need a good drink. Get the scammer to send me a few hundred caddies of drinks. Don't we have some at home? That won't do. Song Mao said regretfully, it has to be good. It's best if there are some fruits too. Cat fruits are delicious. It's a pity that the cat tree ran away. I need to save some beef now. I want to have a feast. I haven't had it in a long time. Whatever. My brother is back. I'll get him to buy you something good. Why don't I buy it for you? You don't have any. Song Mao shook his head. He wanted to drink the ambrosia produced by an emperor-level tree, but Little Chubby Face did not have any. It was a pity that he did not have an emperor-level tree. Otherwise, the emperor level would be even better. At home, a man and a cat chatted enthusiastically. River City, House of Governors. Fang Ping continued reading. Emperor ranking number 2. Suppressing Heavenly King. Emperor ranking number 3. Demon Emperor. Emperor ranking number 4. King Qian. Emperor ranking number 5. Destiny Monarch. Emperor ranking number 6. Sky Plant King. Emperor ranking number 7. Martial King, before injury. Emperor ranking number 8. Dragon Transformation, Celestial Emperor. Emperor ranking number 9. Boundless Sea Mountain Chieftain. Emperor ranking number 10. Li Zhu. It was a list that would shock everyone. The top 10 had exceeded everyone's expectations. Forget about the first place being Song Mao. Forget about the second and third place. The fourth place was actually King Qian. The 10th place had all the powerhouses dumbfounded. Li Zhu. 3 realms top 10. Li Zhu was actually on the list. Other than Song Mao, there was not much introduction for the others. Regarding Li Zhu's introduction, there was only one sentence. Initially, I did not want to put him on the list, but I was afraid that it would be unfair. After careful consideration, I decided that King Li should enter the 3 realms top 10 rankings. In the hall, it was deathly quiet. Li Zhu. Everyone was pondering the meaning of this ranking. This ranking was very different from the one old Zhang had given to Fang Ping previously. Sky Demon King, Myriad Demon King, these people were not qualified to enter the top 10. Among the Catacombs' 4 majestic chambers, including Sky Plant King and Destiny Monarch, there were actually 4 of them in the ranking. This was also beyond everyone's expectations. What was more frightening was that on the Sky Plant Royal Court side, Li Zhu and King Qian had actually entered the ranking. King Qian, this was probably the most mysterious powerhouse. Even if it was Heavenly King suppressing and Devil Emperor, especially unquestionable sword, Fang Ping had also learned a lot of things from this trip to the Emperor's tomb, but King Qian, he really did not know anything. He was actually at the top of the list again, even higher than the ranking old Zhang had given. This ranking is something. Song Mao, King Qian, Li Zhu, these three entering the ranking, in my opinion, is very targeted. Someone is targeting them. No one knew exactly how strong Li Zhu was. Even Fang Ping only judged that he had taken two great paths. But today, he became the top 10 powerhouse of the three realms. If nothing went wrong, Sky Plant Royal Court might be in chaos this time. Previously, King Hua and the others were also guessing, but it was all based on the information given by Fang Ping and not really confirmed anything. But now, this guy who called himself Daoist Fengyun had made Li Zhu into the top 10 of the three realms. Li Zhu and King Qian would probably become the focus of the three realms. It's getting more and more interesting. Fang Ping watched for a while and chuckled. Seems like when the chaos comes, all kinds of ghosts and monsters will come out. I can't wait for the three realms to be completely in chaos. Li Zhu, King Qian, and Song Mao's ranking is the symbol of chaos. Chapter 9:24. Fang Ping scanned through the Emperor leaderboard's ranking. He did not recognize many of them, so he did not pay much attention to them. The ranking of the divine list was also very interesting. First, King of Fate. Seeing the ranking, Fang Ping suddenly felt like laughing. I just want to laugh. Life King is number 1. Everyone looked at the god list and looked at each other. This old man was arrogant in the circle of Emperor-class experts, but in the end he was ranked first on the god list. Ha ha ha, Fang Ping could not hold it in. He laughed out loud and said, I just want to know what the Life King is thinking when he sees this list. How do you look? It was definitely not a good thing to be overestimated. However, what would the Fate Emperor think now that he had failed to enter the monarch ranking? Fang Ping laughed for a while. Then his expression suddenly turned serious. Life King has been plotting against the Second King. The Second King's ranking is so high. What kind of backup does Life King have? He's not an idiot. An idiot can't cultivate to this level. Old Man Li, whose face was still deathly pale, thought for a while and said, Is it possible that the Life King did it on purpose? Not really. Fang Ping opened his mouth and said, If it were him and I were the Life King, I wouldn't make myself the first on the god list. Even if I made it to the last place on the Emperor list, it wouldn't be as eye-catching as it is now. The person who compiled the list might be on the list, but he deliberately weakened his existence. That's not necessarily true. Everyone knows that it's dark under the light. Maybe he's just doing the opposite. That makes sense. Fang Ping nodded slightly. The first on the god list was the Life King. Second on the divine list, Battle King. Third on the divine list, Thunder King, Xiao Weigua. On the list, another surprising name appeared. Thunder King. Fang Ping had seen this title before. When the Sino Nation's paragons were released previously, this person's ranking was not considered high. Previously, he was ranked below Li Zhun and the Su clan's old ancestor. The Xiao family's ancestor of suppressing Star City. An expert who had not returned to Star Town for more than 100 years. An expert who oversaw a region and almost never showed himself. Over the years, he had only participated in a great battle 90 years ago and had not participated in any battles since then. Third on the Thunder King divine list. Everyone was stunned once again. Fang Ping looked at Zhang Chao, who had already woken up, frowned and said, The Thunder King is actually ranked third on the three universes deity ranking list, surpassing countless powerhouses. Do you know anything about it? At this moment, Zhang Chao's entire body was in pain. His fat face twitched in pain. When he heard that, he scratched his ears and cheeks. The Xiao family's patriarch is ranked third, just one rank lower than our patriarch. His ancestor had killed many true monarchs. Previously, when the battle monarchs fought against the overlords, they were not at a disadvantage for a short period of time. But now, the rankings were as such. After thinking about it, Zhang Chao shook his head and said, I'm really not sure. We're not too familiar with the Shao clan, and the Shao clan has always been very low-key. However, I seem to have heard that back then, the Shao family's patriarch and the heaven-suppressing heavenly king didn't get along. Anyway, our relationship wasn't that great, so I didn't come back much. Third on the god list. The top 3 experts on the god list might even be able to fight against emperor-level experts. Fong Ping raised an eyebrow. Who exactly is Taoist Fengyan? Old Zhang didn't even know about this. There was a high chance that Zhang Tao did not know that the Shao clan's patriarch had such strength. Otherwise, his name wouldn't have been missing from the previous leaderboards. Just as Fong Ping was looking at the divine list. Secret Land. Zhang Tao's face was pale. He held the leaderboard in his hand and smiled. The Thunder King is actually second to the Battle Monarch. Senior Battle Monarch, what do you think? The Battle Monarch was not too surprised. He said lazily, so be it. It's a little surprising, but it's still okay. Xiao Weigua probably didn't come from the boundary zone. He might still have memories. I remember that about 100 years ago, Xiao Weigua and Old Devil Li seemed to be arguing about something. Anyway, they almost fought. Wait, the Thunder King dared to fight the heaven-suppressing Heavenly King? How would I know? The Battle Monarch said nonchalantly. Besides, do you have to have similar strength to fight? Why did they fight? Nonsense, I already said I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they had a disagreement. The Battle Monarch said nonchalantly, then said, Xiao Weigua, this guy. How do I put it? I don't think he's a bad guy. I remember when I was with Old Devil Li, this guy even taught me some things. He's quite hot-tempered. Thunder King, when he's angry, he's like thunder. Zhang Tao, I think there's no need to be too suspicious of him. Old Devil Li didn't say anything. If there's a problem, Old Devil isn't someone to be trifled with. Zhang Tao thought for a while and asked, where is he from? He's not from the boundary zone. He probably isn't Grandmaster either. The Battle Monarch guessed, I suspect he's from the same era as Old Devil Li. They probably knew each other in the past. Back then, they were always at odds. Maybe they were from that era. Star Town has 13 families, 8 of the boundary zones. No one from Mount Wanwu and Mount Kuokang came out, but 6 powerhouses came from the boundary zones. There are also 7 powerhouses whose origins are unknown. If Garrison King and Thunder King are from the same era, what about the other 5? As soon as he said that, someone beside him said quietly, you're asking us? Star Town had 13 families' patriarchs. Other than the Yang family's patriarch who died in battle, there were still 12 left. Many of them were here, at the secret zone. Zhang Tao chuckled and said, of the 6 families' experts from the boundary zones, there are 5 left after Patriarch Yang's death. Senior Zhang, Senior Su, Senior Shun, Senior Chun, and Senior Wei are overseeing the boundary zones. I'm really curious. What about you, Senior Liu? Other than these families, there were also the Zhou, Zheng, Jiang, Liu, and Meng families in Star Town. Where did these people come from? Zhang Tao's words caused the atmosphere to become somewhat stagnant. An unknown background and a clear background were 2 different things. Zhang Tao's naming of the 5 families was actually a form of recognition. He recognized the Battle Monarch's group of 5. Among these 5, there were seniors who created new martial arts and seniors who fought for humanity. However, although the others were also fighting, their origins were indeed a problem. He had never asked or mentioned such things before, but today he brought it up as a test. After a long while, an old man with snow-white hair said slowly, since Minister Zhang has asked, I'll say a few more words. I'm a Taoist from Mount Crepe Myrtle, almost the same era as Unquestionable Jian. Of course, Unquestionable Jian was the pride of that era, and I'm far inferior to him. The old man's surname was Zheng, and he was the patriarch of the Zheng family. The old man spoke for a while before saying, Mount Crepe Myrtle was crippled in the battle back then, and the sect master retreated to Mount Crepe Myrtle. Back then, I'd already attained Tao. When I first attained Tao, I was an elder of Mount Crepe Myrtle. In the end, after I retreated, Mount Crepe Myrtle was besieged by unknown experts again. The sect master was already heavily injured, and he was no match for the incoming enemies. In the end, he died completely. The few of us barely managed to activate the sky-locked dragon confinement array and struggled at death's door. Back then, there were not many people left, but we could still survive. Gradually, some people died of old age, while others were heavily injured and died. In the end, I was the only one left. Mount Crepe Myrtle, also known as Golden Court Mountain, was one of the 72 blessed lands. Zhang Tao smiled when he heard that. So you're from Mount Crepe Myrtle. In that case, why didn't you leave Mount Crepe Myrtle back then, Senior Zheng? I couldn't leave. The patriarch of the Zheng family sighed. I'm not too sure about the situation in other places, such as the current 8 domains. However, we couldn't leave Mount Crepe Myrtle back then. Someone sealed Mount Crepe Myrtle and deliberately prevented us from leaving. Mount Crepe Myrtle's array formation was broken, and I could only sleep or simply die of old age on Mount Crepe Myrtle. Up until a few hundred years ago, Mount Crepe Myrtle had already been swallowed by the Forbidden Sea. It seemed that the outer seal had been broken, but at that time, I had also reached my limit and was about to die. At this time, Heavenly King Subduing came. He said that in the battle of the sovereign battlefield back then, all the experts had died. Now that the Earth domain is powerful, the remnants of the earthly sovereign will not let us, the defeated soldiers. If you want to live, then go with him and find a way to survive. At this point, the battle monarch scolded, "Old thing, you really hit it well. I didn't hear you mention these past events." The patriarch of the Zheng family chuckled. What's there to say? In that battle back then, I was unwilling to accept my defeat and lost in vain. I can't be bothered to mention it. We were just pawns back then, and we were schemed against. As for you, Jiang Tunming, this old man really can't be bothered to fuss over some of the past. Back then, you divined for me and said that I would definitely reach the Arch Realm. You took 39th grade energy fruits from me now. I can't be bothered to fuss over it. Otherwise, I would have made trouble for you long ago. The battle monarch snorted, "Don't slander me." As soon as he said this, the patriarch of the Jiang family suddenly said calmly, "No one is slandering you. You, Jiang Tianming, claim to have divined everything in the world and tricked us by saying that you were enlightened by the ash cat to seek fortune and avoid calamity. Your divinations were extremely accurate. Just before the battle of the sovereign battlefield, I came to you and asked about my future. You said that my future would be stable, and reaching the Arch Realm would not be a problem." As soon as he said this, the patriarch of the Zheng family laughed. "Did he also say that to you?" The patriarch of the Jiang family said coldly, "Of course not. He also said that although my future would not be difficult, there would be obstacles along the way. If I wanted to avoid disasters, I would have to give him a peerless divine weapon." The battle monarch's face darkened, and he said gloomily, "Don't talk nonsense. Which family are you from?" Before the patriarch of the Jiang family could speak, the patriarch of the Zheng family said with a smile, "He's not from any family. If I remember correctly, old Jiang, you were a marquis in the last generation of the Zhou dynasty, right?" The patriarch of the Jiang family nodded slightly and said, "Yes, at the end of the Zhou dynasty, all the marquises fought endlessly, all wanting to become the human emperor. I was not interested in this matter. After the country was destroyed, I ignored the secular affairs and went to the Earth Realm. I was also unlucky. As soon as I went to the Earth Realm, there was endless war, and the battle between the North and the South was chaotic. When I first entered the Earth Realm, I happened to hear about Tian Ming's divination, so I went to Purple Cap Mountain to meet him. You know what happened next? As the two of them talked, the War King's face became darker. "Nonsense, I never divined. How could I lie to others?" The patriarch of the Jiang family continued. "Back then, I thought that this person was an expert of Purple Cap Mountain. How could he live up to his reputation? So I gave him the Jiang country's national seal, which was also my only peerless divine weapon. Who would have thought that the war that swept through the 3 realms would break out in the blink of an eye? I almost died and escaped from the catacombs with the help of the subduing Heavenly King." The War King said gloomily again, "Even if what you said is true, isn't he still alive?" "I knew it. Back then, you two old things looked at me strangely and often caused trouble for me. I thought you were jealous of me, so that's what happened. The two of them sneered. Soon, the patriarch of the Jiang family said with a smile, "The past is like smoke. We can't be bothered to calculate these things with you. Back then, before and after your elder brother, we thought about it again and decided to ignore you. You're not young, and I'm younger than you." You called elder brother affectionately. Zhang Tao looked at him strangely. This shameless old man, godfather and elder brother. How shameless can you be? The War King's expression did not change as he said calmly, "My age is to start from 300 years ago. I won't admit that I'm so old. I'm still young. As for elder brother and godfather, those are all trivial matters. I don't know anything, do I? Did I call them that later?" The patriarch of the Jiang family and the patriarch of the Zheng family had disdainful expressions and did not say much. The two of them talked for a while. The patriarch of the Zhou family was not present, but the patriarchs of the Meng family and the Lu family were present. The patriarch of the Lu family saw that everyone was looking at him and said with a smile, "Don't look at me. I'm not as complicated as you. I was born at the end of the Song dynasty. At that time, the incident with unquestionable sword was already over. I don't know what happened back then. I was just a martial artist from a sect. My talent was not bad. That was probably the most difficult period of cultivation. I cultivated to rank 6 and couldn't improve. So I asked around, and then I met Heavenly King Subduing. I could be considered half his disciple. Heavenly King Subduing arranged a place for me to cultivate in seclusion. After cultivating for a few hundred years, I barely broke through to the Paragon. After that, I left the mountain to guard Mount Royal Sea. Lackey, the War King suddenly scolded. I say, you just listen to whatever the old ghost says. When we were about to disband back then, you even put on an act and lied to me, saying that since we're here, we should take things as they come. Turns out you were cooperating with the old ghost. The patriarch of the Lu family did not mind. He smiled and said nothing. Finally, everyone looked at the patriarch of the Meng family. The patriarch of the Meng family saw them looking at him and said after a while, "I'm a resurrected martial artist. A resurrected martial artist in the Hall of Myriad Origins." The patriarch of the Meng family said softly, "Speaking of which, maybe I'm under unquestionable sword's command? Maybe. Back then, I found my life source in the Hall of Myriad Origins and cultivated like that. Then, I reached the Paragon. There are some things that even I don't know." "What about the old ghost of the Zhou family?" the War King asked. He looked at the patriarch of the Jiang family and said, "You've lived for a long time, so you still have your memories. Do you know him?" Old Zhou, the patriarch of the Jiang family, thought for a while and said, asked him himself, "If he doesn't say, we can't say. What's there to say?" The War King said in a deep voice, "To put it bluntly, today, Zhang Brat is probing. If he cooperates, he's on our side. If he hides, he's not on our side. Old Li and Old Xiao are old antiques. No matter what they're planning, we can't be bothered to care about them." What's the situation with the old ghost of the Zhou family? Everyone understood what he meant. Otherwise, they would not have mentioned it after so many years. The patriarch of the Zheng family thought for a while and said, "Old Zhou, his situation is a little complicated. Let's put it this way. He's the previous pope." Zhang Tao's expression changed slightly. The patriarch of the Zheng family shook his head and said, "Don't overthink it. He has little to do with the current cult's pope. He has another name, Shani. Didn't you guys catch Shinsan before? He's probably in the same phase as that guy. Of course, he probably doesn't know that guy. These people don't know each other." Old Zhou betrayed the cult before the battle at the King battlefield started. He had just reached the pinnacle then and was the leader of the cult in the human world. He could be considered a pope. Later on, he betrayed the cult and was hunted for many years. More than 2,000 years ago, he was cornered and self-destructed his golden body, leaving behind his spiritual power. It has been sealed at Mount Imperial Sea. Later on, the heaven-subduing king found him and helped him restore his golden body. That's how old Zhou is now. Zhang Tao said in a deep voice. Does he know about the cult? This? I'm not too sure. He's roughly the same as Shinsan. He's just a pawn spokesperson. The pinnacle is just a spokesperson. The patriarch of the Zheng family shook his head and said, "Back then, there weren't as few pinnacle as there are now. In fact, there were even more than now. You don't know, before the battle at the King battlefield, there were really many pinnacle. A blessed grotto heaven can't be called a blessed grotto heaven without 7 to 8 pinnacle masters. How many blessed grotto heavens were there back then? There were really 108 large sects and countless small and medium sections. One can imagine that although the pinnacle masters were top combat power back then, they weren't decisive combat power. Therefore, old Zhou doesn't know much. The problem of the cult is more complicated. There might be many emperor-level powerhouses secretly guiding them." Zhang Tao glanced at them and thought for a moment before saying, "Since you guys survived from that era, I would like to ask one more thing. Why didn't some of the cultivation techniques from back then be passed down?" The few of them looked at each other. The patriarch of the Zheng family shook his head and said, "It's not that they didn't pass it down. Let me put it this way. The cultivation techniques of that era are actually not suitable for you guys. During our era, things like life essence and energy ores were all supplementary cultivation resources. It was much more extravagant and wasteful than cultivating now. You've also obtained ancient martial arts cultivation techniques before. You know that some of the cultivation methods are to burn resources, and it's not just ordinary burning. However, Earth's resources are scarce. People like us can't keep snatching resources for others." After that, Heavenly King Garrison said that the cultivation techniques would not be passed down. The body honing method would be enough. The body honing method was the most basic cultivation technique back then. We even improved it later. It doesn't have high requirements for resources and energy. Moreover, the war between the North and the South left us with lingering fears. We thought that it would be best if the war between the North and the South did not happen again. Therefore, we didn't pass down cultivation techniques that were more biased. The cultivation techniques back then were all biased, Zhang Tao said in a low voice. What happened after that? After that, when we needed mentality cultivation techniques, the patriarch of the Zheng family said helplessly, "How many years has it been?" In the past few years, there weren't many high ranks. It wasn't very useful to have mentality cultivation techniques. Who knew in the blink of an eye, you guys would have so many high ranks? To us, a few decades is nothing. We weren't even prepared when you guys got the cultivation techniques on your own. Actually, even if you didn't get it, your cultivation wasn't bad. After thinking about it, forget it. Let's not pass it down. It's the neo-martial arts era. It's good to restart everything. Just look at us and you'll know that there's actually something wrong with our cultivation. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been stagnant for so many years. Back then, the powerhouses who cultivated to emperor level all had great encounters. It's very difficult to improve by cultivating normally. Zhang Tao nodded slightly, agreeing with this statement. However, after thinking about it, he still asked, "What's the situation with the Yang family? Why did you want to go to the domain of domains and die there?" The few of them looked at each other. It was still the patriarch of the Zheng family who replied, "He hasn't made any progress in his cultivation for a long time. His memory from back then was erased. He's slightly different from Jiang Tianming. Jiang Tianming's memory seemed to have been erased by Gong Yuzi and the others on purpose. Old Yang and the others were too seriously injured, so they had no choice but to erase their memories. Therefore, they're injured. Their cultivation can't actually improve unless their injuries are healed. Old Yang himself knows this very well. It just so happens that the old guy in the void mausoleum grotto heaven has been cultivating something. I think it's something that can repair mentality. Anyway, it's quite attractive to us. It's fine if we don't stay there, but old Yang stays there, and we're neighbors." In the end, he couldn't hold back and ran in, wanting to snatch the treasure. In the end, he probably angered Sect Master Tang, so he couldn't hold back and killed him. Zhang Tao frowned. Heavenly King, subduing, didn't do anything. The patriarch of the Zheng family shook his head. This matter is not easy to deal with. Old Yang is Sect Master Tang's disciple. Deceiving his master and destroying his ancestors is a great crime. It's the same in every era. Back then, Sect Master Tang paid a great price to save Old Yang. Now that he did this, it's not easy to deal with. That person from the Yang family doesn't know the inside story. right? Even if he doesn't, Sect Master Tang won't keep it a secret after going in. The patriarch sighed. He might not have known at first, but he would have known after going in. In the end, he still died. He didn't listen and stubbornly went his own way. So he was killed. He was courting death. He's Sect Master Tang's disciple, and all his martial arts were taught by him. Moreover, he was injured. How could he be a match for an emperor-level powerhouse? I heard that in the end, when he died, he knelt on the other side of the imperial path. Is that right? Zhang Tao nodded slightly. I took a look at it earlier. It's more or less the same. That's right. Sect Master Tang was probably angry. Even when he died, he was still forced to kneel. I'm afraid he was also hurt. As for old Yang, I can't say anything. In the end, he was indeed a little obsessed. Didn't Fong Ping and the other brats go there? I heard that they went in. Sect Master Tang didn't do anything, which means that he's still normal and not crazy. This was considered a family matter. The sect was cleaning up, so Zhang Tao could not say anything. He sighed. I was thinking before that he had protected humanity for hundreds of years. This void mausoleum grotto heaven sect master killed Patriarch Yang without any explanation. No matter what, I had to find some trouble with him. Now it's really hard to say anything. The patriarch of the Zheng family laughed. You don't have to worry about this. Let old Yang's matter be. The most important thing now is the Great Ceiling Formation. You happen to be injured, so think about this more. Then Patriarch Yang's corpse. It probably can't be retrieved. Back then, Heavenly King Jin sent the Yang family descendants to retrieve it because he wanted to see what Sect Master Tang was thinking. However, Yang Daohong died there. Sect Master Tang probably didn't plan to let his corpse come out of the mountain. Zhang Tao nodded slightly and smiled. One last question. What's the situation at Mount Wangwu? It's fine that no one came out of Mount Wangwu, but why has Heavenly King Jun been guarding there for hundreds of years? The patriarch of the Zheng family smiled bitterly. Don't ask. This matter is too complicated. Mount Wangwu, the first grotto heaven, the first sect, the first great emperor. In short, there are many firsts. This time, he actually didn't enter the top 10 of the Three Realms leaderboard. It's not that he can't. It's that the people who ranked the leaderboard are afraid. Heavenly King Jin guarded for hundreds of years and didn't dare to barge in. You should know what that means. The other party's temper isn't too good either. It's best not to provoke him. He hasn't come out for thousands of years. It's not that he can't come out. It's that he doesn't want to. This Taoist Feng Yun or whatever. He's definitely someone from before the battle at the King battlefield. You know his temper. Just pretend that he doesn't exist in this world. If you cause trouble for him for no reason, he'll turn the entire Three Realms upside down to find you. He won't stop until you're dead. Do you think Taoist Feng Yun would dare to rank him? Also, if Zhao Xingwu was really arranged by you, it's best not to let him go to Mount Wangwu. He's been a successor for so many generations. Who knows if he'll acknowledge it or not? Heavenly King Jin doesn't care because he's harboring evil ideas. Just wait and see. When the time comes, whoever goes into the catacombs will die. If Life King, Li Zhu, and the others dare to go in, they'll all die. Zhang Tao's expression changed slightly. He said quickly, I have to inform that kid Fong Ping not to barge in. According to what you said, the other party is a little too strong. Of course. When Heavenly Dog was alive, he didn't stay too long when he passed by Mount Wangwu. He was afraid of getting into trouble. The patriarch of the Zheng family shook his head. Clearly, he knew something about the other party, but he was unwilling to say more. Zhang Tao smiled. He was glad that he had gotten the other party's ranking. Fortunately, he did not spread it. Otherwise, if people found out, would they find trouble with him? He was quite confident before. This time, he fought 1 against 3 and almost lost. He was no longer so arrogant. Chapter 9:25. The Wind Cloud List. First, Qi Huanyu. Second, Zhao Xingwu. Third, Kong Linyuan. 18th place, Li Changxing. 19th place, Wang Hanyu 20th place, Chang Shanqi 31st, Wu Quishan 32nd place, Wu Chuan. 33rd place, Fong Ping. The living room was eerily quiet. Stifling his laughter, Everyone was trying to hold back their laughter. Wu Chuan's face darkened. What was this? Rank 32, he admitted it. There were many powerhouses in the catacombs and grandmasters on the Three Realms ranking list. But why was Fang Ping ranked 33rd? Why was Li Chongxing 18th? He was too ashamed to live. Wu Chuan felt wronged. Fang Ping was only one place lower than him. What did this mean? That bastard who ranked the list. Damn it. He felt aggrieved. Fang Ping rubbed his chin and said, I'm ranked 33rd. Not bad. In that case, the experts below the pinnacle of the various powers in the Three Realms are only average. There were so many forces, including the Forbidden Sea Demon Clan and Imperial Sea Mountain. In the end, he was still ranked 33rd, which was definitely not low. There were only 6 experts on Earth ranked ahead of him. In other words, there were only 6 rank 9s from Earth on the list. Excluding Zhao Xingwu, including Old Man Li, there were 5 from Sino Nation on the list, and 1 from Pantheon. If that's the case, if there's another ranking list of rank 9 in the world, I'll be ranked 7th? Fang Ping was a little surprised. Am I that strong? It was no surprise that Old Man Li was ranked 18th. He had killed the nameless teenager. Fang Ping's gaze flickered abruptly. He looked around and frowned slightly. This fellow was definitely in the catacombs when the ranking was being made. Only a few people knew that Teacher Li had killed that person from Nameless Mountain. Since they came out so quickly, it seems that the other party was also in the vicinity of the domain. Wu Chuan was not interested in this. He could not tell. When Li Chongxing killed the youth from Nameless Mountain, it was not like no one came out alive. Ji Yao and the others all came out alive, and the news was leaked afterwards. Because of this, so many people at the scene were suspects. He was more concerned about his ranking. He said angrily, I'm ranked 32nd? Did you make a mistake? Everyone ignored him. Wu Chuan was about to go crazy from the blow. If he continued to agitate him, what if he really went crazy? Tianmu smiled and said, Be content. Look at me. I'm only ranked 197th. There were more than 100 names on the Wind Cloud list. There were a total of 500 names on it. It was not bad for Tianmu to enter the top 200. In Hua, there were not many people on the list. Fang Ping ranked 33rd. Actually, it was still somewhat overestimated. However, he had many tricks up his sleeves and a strong golden body. If he really followed this ranking, there was nothing wrong with it. If Song Mao could rank first, Fang Ping would have no problem ranking 33rd. Wu Chuan had a look of grief and indignation. How can I be the same as you? When I was in the top 10 of rank 9, there wasn't a single person present who could fight. In the end, it was getting worse and worse. Fang Ping chuckled. Those who are ranked in the top 100 have hopes of breaking through the impasse quickly. Brother Wu, you're all about the same. There's no need to be conflicted. Nonsense. Is this what I'm worried about? I'm just worried that you little bastard are about to surpass me. If he were to be surpassed, would there still be justice in this world? No, he had to reach the pinnacle as soon as possible. Fang Ping ignored him. After looking at the list, he stretched his back and smiled. Just rank however you want. It doesn't matter how many there are. However, this list is still quite useful. Previously, we actually didn't know much about the catacombs powerhouses. It's the same for other forces. Now it seems that it's still alright. We're not considered too weak. Everyone was speechless. You're pretty happy, aren't you? Fang Ping's final ranking on the Three Realms Wind Cloud list was really not low. However, if he wanted to calculate his age, he did not list it. Otherwise, he would not be able to see it. Fang Ping chuckled and said, The Emperor's tomb trip ends here. Everyone disperse, he was giving a direct order. Just as Wu Chuan was about to leave, he thought for a while and suddenly humphed. Governor General Zhang, come. Let's talk about the Southern Catacombs defense. I'm the #1 big shot in the South. Just take care of your Heavenly Division, kid. In Nanjiang's House of Governors, I call the shots. Fang Ping chuckled. He did not mind. Old Wu had suffered quite a blow now. Now that he was being arrogant, he would just treat it as appeasing the old man. Then I'll leave this place to you guys. Old Wang, let's go and divide the loot. As the guardian of the South, I don't think Senior Wu will share things with us juniors, right? Yes. Wu Chuan said that through gritted teeth. I don't want it. Isn't it just a few Emperor corpses? Isn't it just combat Heavenly Palace? Isn't it just Ji Yao and Hua Yu's storage rings? No. What's so great about it? When I reach the pinnacle, I won't even want it. Fong Ping huffed and laughed. Old Manly glanced at him and raised his eyebrows. That was enough. He kept provoking Old Wu. What if he went crazy? Wu Chuan was his eldest senior brother. After all, House of Governors, side hall. As soon as Fong Ping entered the door, he burst out laughing. Tian Mu found it funny. How did he offend you? Must you provoke him? No, just giving Senior Wu some pressure. Fong Ping laughed. You've seen it for yourself. If he doesn't reach the pinnacle soon, he'll really fall behind. Provoke him a little. Maybe he'll reach the pinnacle tomorrow. As he spoke, Fong Ping looked at Old Wang and asked, Is everything all right in Combat Heavenly Palace? It's fine. Those Emperor corpses are still inside, but they can't come out. The Combat Heavenly Palace is a good thing. I feel that it is no less than a divine artifact. You should keep it. No need. Wang Jinyang shook his head and said, I don't need it. You can take it when you get back. I'll see if I can modify it into the Heaven Division's headquarters, a mobile headquarters. I can't control it, right? Sure. Wang Jinyang explained, it's just a matter of chi activity. You have also absorbed the power of the heart, so there's no problem. If you really can't do it, you can transform into my aura. That won't be a problem. Then I won't stand on ceremony. This thing's defense should be pretty good. Even Qi Huanyu and the others couldn't break it. If we hadn't come in first, I'm afraid they wouldn't have been able to come in. Fong Ping did not stand on ceremony. He was a little curious. Did Combat Heavenly Palace count as wealth? If he counted it, his wealth should be over 10 billion points now, right? The Battle Heavenly Palace was the residence of an extreme Dao Heavenly Emperor. But this thing had an owner, Lao Wang. Old Wang's gift to him was considered wealth points? If it's a gift, it should count too, right? Fong Ping waited for a while, but his wealth did not move. He cursed in his heart, but comforted himself. Perhaps the things had not been distributed yet, so there was no hurry. The 3 Emperor corpses are complete, so they might be able to be stripped of Daos. The 3 are broken, and Old Wang has corroded a lot of them. This might not be the case. Let's ask them first. Fong Ping muttered, This thing, who do you think should be given to? Can it be stripped? Tian Mu asked, adding, This is an Emperor-level powerhouse. Even the minister might not be able to do it, right? Fong Ping did not count on Old Zhang. Old Zhang might not have the means. After thinking about it, Fong Ping took out his phone. A real phone. This time, he did not make a call through his mind. That would consume a lot of wealth. It was not worth it. He dialed a number. Very soon, Fong Yuan picked up the call on the other side. Once the call was connected, she said, Brother, you're out? Big Cat said it has more than 6 divine weapons, sob sob sob. Fong Yuan's voice suddenly disappeared, turning into whimpers. The next moment, Old Cat took the phone and played dumb. I only have 6. Little chubby face is talking nonsense. Fong Ping did not know whether to laugh or cry. He said helplessly, Brother Cat, is there a limited number of divine weapons in the world? There are. Old Cat answered straightforwardly. I think there are 36. I don't remember. That's about it. How many do you have? I have 6. Fong Ping laughed hypocritically. This cat, did it mean that half of the divine weapons in the world were in its hands? He had given away quite a lot. There were still so many left. Did he take all of them away back then? All right. We're not after your divine weapons. Brother Cat, can I ask, can the Emperor corpse's Dao be stripped? Yes, but it's very troublesome. That's good. Fong Ping breathed a sigh of relief. Old Cat suddenly felt that something was wrong. As if he had seen something, he exploded instantly. I won't do it. I'm just a cat. I won't do it. I won't do it. It's so tiring. The liar wanted him to strip it, but he would not do it. Fong Ping looked dazed. Then, he could not help but laugh. Brother Cat, don't be like that. It's just stripping the Emperor corpse's Dao. I'll give you cat food later. No, I have money. 1 billion. That's a lot. I can buy a lot. Liar, don't try to cheat me. On the other side of the phone, Old Cat was extremely shrewd. I have money. 1 billion. Fong Ping said helplessly again. Brother Cat, cats can't use money. You can't buy things even if you have money. Liar, I can. I bought a lot online. Fong Ping was mentally exhausted. This cat had even learned to shop online. Could it be online shopping on my platform? Forget it. He would talk about it when he got back. All right, then we'll talk about this later. I have a question. Who made the ranking list this time? I don't know. You didn't sense it? Old Cat said lazily. The guy who made the ranking list, if he didn't plot against me, then he wouldn't have been able to sense it. Are you stupid? It wanted to plot against me, so it must know that I can sense it. That's why it definitely didn't think about it at that time. You knew that the other party was plotting against you? Liar. You're so stupid. Old Cat was extremely contemptuous. Of course. How could I become the first in the 3 realms? Big Dog said it before. The first will die a horrible death. Whoever is first will die. I'm not stupid. In other words, you're a big idiot. Fong Ping was helpless. How could this cat be smart one moment and stupid the next? You're scolding me again. Old Cat felt wronged. Fong Ping said sluggishly. I was just thinking. I didn't plot against you. I guessed it. Fong Ping broke down completely. What was up with this cat? Its IQ had increased. All right then, I'll look for you later. Also, this time you actually brought my sister to the Forbidden Sea. Old Cat, you have to talk to me about this. She's only rank 4. She'll turn into slag if she falls into the sea. Old Cat covered its ears with its paws, not wanting to listen. I'm here. How can I fall in? The liar and Chatterbox were here again. The phone was hung up very quickly. Old Cat hung up on its own. Fong Ping did not call again. After hanging up, Fong Ping laughed. The Emperor's corpse is no problem. Also, you guys can split Ji Yao and Hua use storage rings. I don't want them. I want a portion of the flowers and plants in Old Wang's courtyard. I took a look. The energy is so rich it's scary. Teacher Li and I have entered the 9th forging realm. I feel that normal holy fruits are useless. These flowers and plants might be able to help us quickly hone our 9th forging golden body. Just take it, Old Wang said, thinking for a while before saying, this time, Iron Head the rest, and I want to go out and train alone. You don't have to go. If you go out now, it'll be troublesome. Also, if you go to the place we're going, we won't be of much use. All right, but you guys be careful. Fong Ping did not say much. They were all adults. Old Wang was not a child. He knew what to do. Be careful. Don't expose the divine weapons in your hands. Many people know about it now. If it's leaked, you guys will be in big trouble. Don't worry. After a while, Old Manly suddenly said, didn't you give old Zhang's antique art away? I checked just now. It doesn't seem to be in Ji Yao's ring. Didn't you check it before? Fong Ping laughed. I gave it to her. It's fine. She can't use it. I'll probably give it to the Life King. Life King better not learn it. Don't look at it. It's fake. No, really. Fong Ping laughed. How can a fake lie? The Life King isn't an idiot. But forget it, I won't say any more. Everyone was speechless. There were only a few of them here. How could they not trust him? Although everyone was curious, they did not ask anymore. Fong Ping thought for a while, but he could not hold it in. He laughed. Life King better not learn it. There are 2 points. First, Old Zhang is famous for spying on people. That thing has some of his mentality attached to it. If the Life King finds out, it'll be fine. If not, the next time you meet Old Zhang will know even if you fart. Second, antique arts touch the other party's Dao. It's equivalent to a primer that can be used to explore other Dao. This is also a competition of willpower. If the Life King really explored Old Zhang's Dao, I won't say how much energy he will have to expend. If he really went, it would be enough to make him suffer. Dao is not a dead thing. It can actually be sensed. When the time comes, Old Zhang might be able to follow the breakthrough point of his willpower and directly enter his origin Dao. It's hard to say who will kill who. After he said so much, Tian Mu could not help but ask, does the minister know? He knows. Fong Ping laughed again. I'm not crazy. Why would I gamble with his life? At least Old Zhang can still support Neo Marshall now. If he dies, it's over. When he's not strong enough, we'll kick him away. Everyone rolled their eyes. He said it as if it was true. Then the Life King has to be careful. It's not easy to take the minister's things. Wang Jinyang laughed too. Then he said, next we might go directly to the land of kings. If you go, then we'll meet up. If you don't, then we'll think of a way to go in ourselves. When they came out, there was news from the World Martial Arts Association. On the 20th, a meeting would be held in Sino Nation to discuss the matter of the Land of Kings. Old Wang and the rest might not have been qualified before, but now Old Wang was not a problem. Ironhead was fine too. Yao Qingjun was a fourth refinement golden body, and his mentality was not weak either. If they wanted to go in, it would not be too much trouble. This time, they were going to train together. When the time came, they would go there directly. I know. I'll say it again. Be careful. Many people don't notice you guys now, because you guys always move with me. I'm too outstanding, so I cover you guys up. When you guys move on your own, the probability of being noticed is not small, especially Old Wang. This time, Unquestionable Sword knows about you. When Wang Jinyang heard that, he thought for a while and said, speaking of which, I've seen Unquestionable Sword before. Having said that, he briefly recounted what happened earlier. Fang Ping frowned slightly. If that's the case, he's been to combat Heavenly Palace. Yes, it happened recently. Fang Ping raised his eyebrows. It might not be recently. It might have happened yesterday. Many people went in at that time. Who knows if he's hiding among them? This guy is extremely powerful. Most people can't notice him. It's just changing his aura. It's very difficult for us. For him, it might not be difficult for him to change it for those who are weaker than him. It might even be his real aura. This guy might have changed his life origin. Change his life origin? Fang Ping nodded. I can. Why can't he? Actually, I understand now why I can. It's a powerful force that forcibly carries out a kind of concealment and imitation. This force is very powerful, so I did it. When his strength is also powerful to this extent, then he can do it too. Monarch Realm? It can't be, right? Everyone was shocked. Fang Ping laughed. Since he dares to say that he can fight Heavenly Emperor, of course he might be bragging, he might not be bragging. But no matter what, he should be stronger than Old Zhang. This is a fact. If that's the case, it's not a big problem for him to hide it from Old Zhang. In the three realms, the only person he can't hide it from now is probably Heavenly King Subduing. So, Heavenly King Subduing most likely knows who Unquestionable Sword is. But if he doesn't say, no one can force him. Fang Ping guessed that Heavenly King Subduing knew Unquestionable Sword's identity based on this. Unquestionable Sword was most likely not as powerful as Heavenly King Subduing. Of course, this was also hard to say. In short, the probability of hiding it from Heavenly King Subduing was not high. I understand now. Maybe this guy has always been by our side. That's right. Fang Ping laughed. But there's no need to worry too much. He has his own plans. He won't make a move. If he does, then he'll be exposed. We can't stop him anyway. Also, if we're in Magic City, he probably won't appear. If the cat is there, he most likely won't come into close contact with the cat. He's been with the cat for a long time. He can hide it from a distance, but if he's in close contact, the possibility of hiding it is not high either. If there's any confidential matters in the future, you can go to the cat to talk. Everyone nodded again. Since Fang Ping said so, they did not guess anymore. Old Manly thought for a while and said, Fang Ping, do you think the cat is cooperating with Unquestionable Sword? Probably not. Fang Ping chuckled. This cat, it's not that I'm looking down on it. It's a little mischievous, but it probably doesn't have the motivation to waste its energy to plot against someone. The origin space was actually the most direct manifestation of a human or a demon. No, it was the origin path. What was the cat's origin path? It was lazy. Too lazy to put the fish head into its mouth. Fang Ping had seen it before. If this was all fake, then the cat was terrifyingly powerful and black-bellied. You want a cat that's so lazy to cooperate with Unquestionable Sword for a few thousand years? You're thinking too much. Everyone burst out laughing again. The cat was indeed lazy. Everyone felt that there was not much hope for it to do this. Fang Ping said as he said, then I'll return to Magic City first. The meeting on the 20th will be held in Magic City. This time, Heaven will be the host. I'll help you get the quota. Let's see how the other clans negotiate. If it's possible, there's hope for Grandmaster Kong and the rest to recover this time. I'll strive to let Grandmaster Kong recover and let the humans have another top-notch origin path. With him around, he should be able to fight with Qi Huanyu. At least we'll have a powerhouse that can match him. Currently, there were not many powerhouses that could match Qi Huanyu. Zhao Xingwu could not keep attacking. Even if many people knew that this old man was most likely a dark person, knowing was knowing. Everyone had tacitly agreed. It was easy to get into trouble if they attacked too often. Qi Huanyu was indeed very strong. Fang Ping was no match for him. He could only be beaten up. The others were about the same. If there were no accidents, if rank 8s and 9s were allowed to enter the battlefield in advance, he would probably go. Life King would not let a combat strength like him sit idle. If Kong Lingyuan did not recover, there was really no one on the human side who could stop that fellow. After bidding farewell to Old Wang and the rest, Fang Ping also obtained Combat Heavenly Palace. This time, Fang Ping did not fly back. Instead, he took a car. In the car, Fang Ping glanced at his wealth points and frowned slightly. Wealth, 8 billion points vitality, 141,200 calories, 141,200 calories, mentality, 9,499 hertz, 9,499 hertz, destruction force, 70 yuan, storage space, 10,000 cubic meters, plus, energy shield, 1 point/minute, plus, aura simulation, 10 points/minute, plus, origin detailed analysis, 10-100 million points/time after repairing the House of Gold. His wealth points had dropped to about 3 billion points. In other words, this time he had obtained 5 billion points of wealth points. It was worth 50 trillion. However, Fang Ping calculated for a while. Those flowers and plants were shockingly valuable. Together with other miscellaneous items, they might be worth that much. In other words, Combat Heavenly Palace really did not take into account wealth points. Combat Heavenly Palace actually does not take into account wealth points. Could it be? Fang Ping thought of two possibilities. First, Combat Heavenly Palace's materials might be ordinary. Fang Ping looked at them. In fact, most of them were ordinary materials. The key was that after Heavenly Emperor Zhan lived there were changes, so Combat Heavenly Palace was essentially worthless. Second, the system could not measure value. This was because Extreme Dao Heavenly Emperor might have already had some conflicts with the system's ability. In that case, some of the abilities that the system gave Fang Ping might lie in this boundary. When Fang Ping's own strength reached Heavenly Emperor Zhan's level, there was a high chance that the system would be useless. Which one is it? Fang Ping did not know which one he should lean towards. Maybe the second one was better. This means the system is only at Heavenly Emperor Zhan's level. As long as I surpass this level, I can get rid of some things, including some conspiracies. Fang Ping knew very well that he still needed the system's help now. However, he would not always be like this. Sooner or later, he would need to get rid of all this. Extreme Dao Heavenly Emperor. Just how strong is he? What about the Emperor? The car drove slowly. Fang Ping looked out the window. Old Zhang's plan would be carried out after the King battleground was broken. Once it was successful, although he would not have to worry about those true kings anymore, he would need to bear everything after that. This is a lot of pressure. Fang Ping suddenly felt a little suffocated. Actually, he had always had a backer, someone to help him clean up the mess. From when he was weak until now, he had always had someone to rely on. Now, once these people, these backers, were gone, he would need to face everything alone. In the future, at least for a period of time, do I have to rely on myself? Fang Ping licked his lips, feeling a little stressed, but also a little expectant. Chapter 926. Magic City. When the car drove into Magic City, the sky was already dark. Magic City was still bustling under the night sky. Under the neon lights, the martial arts Holy Land signboard was dazzling. Today, Magic City could indeed be called a martial arts Holy Land. The most powerful martial arts university was in Magic City. One of the 4 divisions, the Heaven Division, was in Magic City. Fong Ping looked for a while and suddenly laughed. Magic City is not a holy land yet. It's still missing something. What is it? Old Man Li answered. Emperor level. Fong Ping chuckled. Magic City lacks a powerhouse who can truly suppress everyone. Old Zhang has been guarding Capital City. I don't know what he's thinking. Capital City has 2 passageways. It's normal for him to be guarding that one. Old Man Li laughed and asked, back to MCMAU or to the Heaven Division? Let's go back to MCMAU. I haven't been back for a long time. Actually, it was not that long, but Fong Ping felt that it had been a long time. McMao. Returning to MCMU once again, Fong Ping felt a little more warmth and friendliness. In the 3 years since his rebirth, he had spent most of his time in MCMAU. This place had become his second hometown in the truest sense of the word. It was here that he had cultivated from an aspiring martial artist until now. From a student who knew nothing, he had become the deputy minister of the Heaven Division. He had learned countless secrets and come into contact with countless legendary ancient figures. Everything was like a dream. At the school gate, Fong Ping looked at the school's huge signboard and said emotionally, when I first came to MCMEU and looked at the school gate, my only thought was that it was big. Is it necessary for a school to have such a huge gate, more than 100 meters wide? At this moment, someone behind him said with a smile, of course it's necessary. It's a different world inside and outside the gate. The world behind the gate is wider, more dangerous, and more interesting. The familiar words rang in Fong Ping's ears. The person behind him laughed again. Now, do you think that what I said that day was very reasonable? Fong Ping laughed. It's quite reasonable. But what's interesting is that the person who spoke to me back then was a strong senior. Today, it's a weak subordinate. There's no need to provoke me. Behind him, Qin Fengqing was the same as in the past. He carried a saber and said lazily, the path of martial arts is long, like a boat sailing against the current. If you relax even a little, I will catch up to you. Then there's no hope for you in this life. Yes, Qin Fengqing was still smiling brightly. This time, I might enter the 8th stage and forge a golden body. I came back this time because I have something to discuss with you. Speak. Lend me 100,000 yuan of imperishable substance. You have a big heart. Fong Ping turned to look at him, smiling. Do you know what 100,000 yuan of imperishable substance means? Where do you get the confidence that I will lend it to you? 100,000 yuan. 1 billion wealth points. It was worth 10 trillion. Qin Fengqing licked his lips and grinned. 100,000 yuan of imperishable substance isn't a small amount, but an additional great emperor-level powerhouse isn't considered a lot. You? Me? You're so full of yourself. You haven't even reached rank 8, and now you're thinking of becoming a great emperor. You're even more confident than me. Qin Fengqing grinned. That's true. I'm more confident than you. After forging a golden body, I'll have the capital. This time I'm going out for a trip. When I come back, I'll be at least a rank 9. After some time, it won't be difficult for me to become a paragon or a great emperor. Where are you going? I'll go to Imperial Sea Mountain first. I'll kill one round and come back. Then I'll go to the Forbidden Sea. Fong Ping looked at him for a while, saying in a low voice, there are no paragon demons in Imperial Sea Mountain, but top-notch rank 9 demons are a dime a dozen. Not to mention the Forbidden Sea. In the Forbidden Sea, even old Zhang and the rest have to be careful when they go there. I heard that there are many native monsters in the sea. They are incomparably powerful, and their minds are chaotic. It's okay. Qin Fengqing said carelessly. I'm a tough guy. I won't die. I've finally found a place that suits me. Imperial Sea Mountain and the Forbidden Sea are the real treasures. Unexplored treasures. I've gotten a lot of information from Su Bing and the rest. I know some information about treasures, including some emperor-level powerhouses dojos, even emperor's dojos. Bullsh asterisk T. Fong Ping did not believe him at all. If they know, will it be your turn? They don't dare to go. They're afraid of death, but I'm not. Fong Ping looked at him again. Qin Fengqing was still smiling brightly. Fong Ping thought for a while and asked, did unquestionable sword come into contact with you? As soon as he said that, Old man Li's expression changed slightly. Qin Fengqing chuckled. How do I say this? I don't know, unquestionable sword. Don't doubt me. I don't know him, and I don't know if he's dead or alive. However, I picked up a cultivation method in the Emperor's tomb. What cultivation method? Heaven-punishing art? Qin Fengqing chuckled. I didn't know it was his cultivation method before. It was only when the Emperor ranking came out that I found out that heaven-punishing art is unquestionable sword's cultivation method. Where's the cultivation method? It's here. Qin Fengqing pointed at his head and laughed. I really can't pass it on this time. I can't even say it. Old Zhang probably can't take it out either. I'm thinking that I won't pass this thing on, because this thing might not be suitable for you guys. Tell me about it. Kill. Qin Fengqing said it wantonly, laughing. There's only one word, kill. Heaven-punishing art might have been modified before, or should I say it's different from back then. There's only one word in the entire thing, kill. It's not the kind of kill with restraint, but it's unrestrained, the kind that stimulates you to the point where you want to fight and kill all the time. This is actually not bad, but you guys shouldn't learn it. This thing feels like it was tailor-made for me. Fang Ping gave him a deep look, saying in a low voice, the kind of kill that wants to kill everything. You can say that. Fang Ping knew this feeling. When he absorbed the energy from old Wang's heart previously, he felt a little like this. Fang Ping took a deep breath. Don't learn this thing. Unquestionable sword's mentality might have changed. There might be a big problem with the later stage of the cultivation method. I know, but I'll take a gamble. Qin Fengqing's eyes shone brightly. I'm only rank 7. How hard is it to want to reach the peak, to want to become an emperor? Maybe I don't have any hope in this lifetime. But look at me now. If I'm not an emperor, can I still fight for supremacy in this era? Heaven-punishing art. Do you know what to rely on to become stronger? Vitality, murderous aura, demonic aura. With these, I can become stronger quickly, just like when I walked out of Myriad Dao as one. Sooner or later, you'll become a weapon that only knows how to kill. I know. I knew it when I picked up the cultivation method. I'm not an idiot. Of course, I know what this cultivation method means. Qin Fengqing's gaze became brighter. But think about it. What do I have? I don't have anything. Unquestionable sword actually picked me. What did he see in me? Is it my talent? Or am I very handsome? Neither. Qin Fengqing smiled brightly, revealing his snow-white teeth. What he saw in me is that I'm a gambler with good luck, a gambler who doesn't care about his life. I think about it. This is probably the only thing about me that's worth his attention. Then I can't admit defeat. If I admit defeat, Unquestionable Sword who's hiding in the dark might think that this scheme of his was a waste. Does he care about a rank 7 martial artist? Forget about rank 7. Even a paragon is nothing. He's also gambling. He's betting that I can become an emperor, or even stronger. Then I have to satisfy him. Fang Ping looked at him without saying a word. Qin Fengqing chuckled. Don't look at me like that. Don't worry. I like to take risks. If something goes wrong, it might not be bad for mankind. Even if I become a killing machine, don't worry. I promise I'll attack the catacombs first, attack those ancient powerhouses. Maybe this is what Unquestionable Sword wants to see. That's even better. Qin Fengqing chuckled. Then I'll satisfy him. The premise is that I can reach this stage. If he really wants me to become stronger, he'll continue to invest in me. One cultivation method isn't enough. Maybe I can also pick up some top-notch treasures, borrowing chickens to lay eggs. In the end, whether it's me or him who loses, we'll talk about it later. Fang Ping did not say anything more. He pondered for a moment and said, What's your goal? Tell me. You're bent on becoming stronger. What's your ultimate goal? Goal. Images flashed across Qin Fengqing's mind. Very quickly, he recovered his smile and bared his teeth. I want to beat you up and make you lie on the ground and sing Conquer. Fang Ping stared at him. Qin Fengqing's hair stood on end. He could not help but want to run. I'm just saying it. Why are you looking at me like that? It's a very noble goal. Fang Ping nodded. He said calmly. Then he chuckled. Then I'll wait for you. I'm afraid I won't be able to see that day. I'll say this again. If you really become a killing machine, I don't care. You can kill others as you please. But if you kill humans, you know the consequences. Qin Fengqing bared his teeth and said nothing. After a moment, he coughed dryly. That imperishable substance, I can lend it to you. I'm just afraid you can't pay it back. It's only a matter of time. Fang Ping said nothing more. A huge mass of golden, imperishable substance appeared in his hand. This was what he had given Huayu previously. Qin Fengqing grinned from ear to ear and snatched it away. Fang Ping thought for a moment. He took out a storage ring and tossed it to him. Do as you see fit. Watch and see. After saying that, Qin Fengqing laughed wantonly. He leaped into the air and disappeared in the blink of an eye. After watching him leave, Old Man Li frowned slightly. Is he unquestionable sword? No. Fang Ping shook his head. He's Qin Fengqing. Perhaps unquestionable sword wants to nurture an unquestionable sword after going crazy. Can he become stronger quickly? Very likely. Fang Ping said as he walked, it depends on how crazy this guy is. If he's not crazy enough, then unquestionable sword will give up on him. If he's crazy enough, unquestionable sword will always support him. Qin Fengqing might not be the only one like this. Unquestionable sword might have been plotting all these years. Then this time, is unquestionable sword not hiding anymore? He's very unscrupulous. That's normal. At this point, maybe Qin Fengqing is the bait thrown out? After Fang Ping said that, Old Man Li sighed. That kid Fengqing, he says that, but deep down he's still sentimental. Fang Ping, the path of martial arts is chosen by oneself. I only hope that there won't be a day like that. If there really is, give him a quick death. Fang Ping chuckled. Instructor, do you look down on him that much? Maybe he can really walk his own path. When that time comes, I might really not be his match. Old Man Li was no longer sad. He regained his smile and said, let's wait and see. Both of them did not talk about Qin Fengqing anymore. Qin Fengqing's aura had already disappeared from Magic City. No one knew if he could come back alive from this trip. However, if he came back alive, maybe he would see a different Qin Fengqing. After Qin Fengqing left, Old Wang and the rest also moved on their own. His teammates over the past few years all had their own ideas and thoughts. Following Fang Ping was good. Every time, they would reap great rewards. But time and time again, everyone actually felt that some things were deteriorating. Fang Ping's improvement was too fast, so fast that it made them suffocate. It was very difficult to keep up with his pace and follow Fang Ping. Beside him, Old Man Li was also thinking a lot. Right now, he could still move with Fang Ping and protect Fang Ping for a period of time. When he reaches the pinnacle, Old Man Li should leave too. Old Man Li glanced at Fang Ping from the corner of his eyes. These few years, Fang Ping had grown very fast, especially in this year. Not only did his strength grow, but there were also some other things. He no longer looked back at the teammates he had left behind. He did not stop to wait for them. In the end, whether Fang Ping would fight alone or as a team depended on whether these people today were qualified to do so before the big battle. Looking at the teachers and students on campus, Old Man Li exhaled softly. If they could not keep up with his pace, then just like these teachers and students, they could only look at his back and watch Fang Ping move forward alone. That night, Fang Ping walked around the campus for an entire round. He met a lot of acquaintances, but they talked very little. When Fang Ping entered his Grandmaster Tower, many people had complicated looks in their eyes. Lu Fengru, Tang Feng, these people's thoughts were fluctuating, all kinds of thoughts emerging in their minds. 3 Realms ranking list. Fang Ping was ranked 33rd. MCMU's Vice-Chancellor, Deputy Minister of the Sky Division. Fang Ping walked further and further, faster and faster. Now that the young man who loved to show off had returned to MCMU, he could no longer hear the shouts of congratulations for Fang Ping. There was no other reason. Fang Ping had gone too high. That night, many people did not cultivate. They were thinking about some problems and their future paths. On the other hand, Fang Ping slept soundly that night. February 16th. Although the weather was cold, the sun was bright and beautiful. Everything that happened last night seemed to have been forgotten. Fong Ping walked out of the Grandmaster Tower, his face full of smiles, a bright smile. The day still had to go on. All good things must come to an end. Some things did not need to be considered after a good night's sleep. Outside the Grandmaster Tower, Chen Yunxi arrived early. Seeing him go out, she said with a smile, Minister Tian has already escorted Li Zhu to the Heavenly Department's prison. Li Zhu was very tactful and handed over his divine weapon and palace. What should we do next? Just watch him well. See if Li Zhu wants this son. If he does, then we'll talk. If he doesn't, then we'll kill him lest he gets in the way. Fong Ping smiled as he walked. Rank 7? When did that happen? The day before yesterday, when you left. That's pretty fast. Chen Yunxi said with a hint of pride. I'm a genius who almost thrice-honed after all. Rank 7 is nothing. You're proud now? Yes, pride makes people improve. Fong Ping could not help but laugh. He continued walking and said, How are Su Bing and the rest? They're all back. Recently, all the Grandmasters are recruiting people. Su Bing and the rest seem to be busy with this too. Now, they're starting to prepare for the opening of the mountain gate. How's the reaction from all walks of life? Chen Yunxi thought for a while before saying, It's still considered calm, but they're also very enthusiastic. After all, it's a mythical figure recruiting people. Many people are still very shocked and excited. There were also some comments on the internet previously, no lack of flattery and mythical people. Fong Ping thought for a while and said, We can't overly mythologize these people. There's not much movement from the government. I don't know what old Zhang is thinking. Could it be that he's too embarrassed to boast about himself? Get someone to control it and build momentum for old Zhang. We can mythologize some people, but not these people. It's old Zhang and the rest. Mark out their battle achievements and merits. Mythologize them, including the pinnacle of Star City, the merits of protecting mankind for 300 years. Mention it all. Chen Yunxi snickered. What about you? Fong Ping chuckled. The 4 departments and 4 prefectures are all the backbone of mankind. It's not a good thing to be too low-key. Just mention it a little. No need to praise me too much. Chen Yunxi could not help but laugh. She nodded quickly and said, All right, I understand. Oh, right. For the World Martial Arts Conference in a few days, people from the 6 Holy Lands will be coming. Until now, they haven't confirmed the venue. They're waiting for you to come back and arrange it. Just arrange for it to be at the Sky Department's headquarters. Do we need to inform Minister Zhang and the rest to arrange for Pinnacle to come and hold the fort? Just inform Minister Chen to come. It's in the Sky Department's territory, after all. If Minister Chen doesn't show up, it's hard to say. I thought you'd forgotten about Minister Chen. Chen Yunxi laughed again. Was there still a Minister Chen in the Sky Department? After laughing for a while, Chen Yunxi continued to report, Cat brought Feng Ling and Gopher to your house. Now, Vice-Chancellor Guo and the rest are watching. Do you want to ask Uncle and Annie to evacuate there? Not for now. I'll go back and take a look now. Both of them talked as they walked. When they reached the school gate, Fong Ping wanted to go home, while Chen Yunxi wanted to go back to the Sky Department. Before they parted, Chen Yunxi was silent for a while. Suddenly, she said, Fong Ping, after the martial arts conference ends, I want to travel the catacombs. You're leaving too? Fong Ping looked at her, frowning slightly. Chen Yunxi smiled. When martial artists reach rank 7, it's customary for them to go to some dangerous places in the catacombs to train. At this point, if you want to improve, opportunities, treasures, and experiences are indispensable. You guys might want to go to the Martial King Battleground. I probably won't be able to go. It's not a bad idea to go somewhere else. Fong Ping was silent for a while. He nodded. I understand. We'll talk after the conference ends. Okay. As if she felt the atmosphere was a little depressing, Chen Yunxi giggled. Let me tell you a piece of good news. My grandfather has reached Golden Body 5th refinement. Grandfather said that when he has reached Golden Body 6th refinement, he'll strive for rank 9. He wants to achieve rank 9 earlier than you. The old master is starting to compete. Fong Ping chuckled. Then let's compete to see who's the first to reach rank 9. I'll go back and take a look first. You should try to consolidate your realm these few days. You don't have to do everything by yourself. Okay. Chen Yunxi did not linger either. She left quickly. Fong Ping stared at her back for a while. Only when Chen Yunxi had completely disappeared from his sight did he walk toward his house. Fong family. The lawn was now covered with a thick blanket. The cat was lying on the blanket, basking in the sun. As if it had sensed something, the cat glanced outside the courtyard lazily. It said lazily, "I only take the benefits and don't work." I'm just a cat. Fong Ping, who had just taken a step in, stopped in his tracks. This cat is so direct. I've just entered the door, and it's already giving me a heads up. Brother cat. The cat propped its head on the blanket, its tail covering its head. Annoyed, it did not want to listen. Fong Ping laughed. He walked to the blanket and sat down. He smiled. Where's Fong Yuan? The cat wagged its tail. It was too lazy to reply. You're a golden body 9th refinement martial artist. How could you not sense it? You're asking the obvious. I'll have to trouble Brother Cat to help me extract the Daos of a few Emperor corpses. If Brother Cat has any needs, just tell me. Fong Ping will try his best to fulfill them. The bejeweled nectar of an Emperor rank tree. I want to eat an Emperor rank fish head, and some Emperor rank meat skewers. Fong Ping's expression darkened. This cat must be crazy. The cat was secretly delighted. It must be scared. Fong Ping was too lazy to say more. He said sternly, Brother Cat, you're in big trouble. You're first on the Emperor list this time. Powerhouses from the 3 realms will have their eyes on you. Although everyone hasn't shown anything yet, it'll happen sooner or later. Brother Cat was not stupid. It knew what this meant. Nowadays, there aren't many people who are willing to stand up for Brother Cat. Although a few Emperor rank powerhouses have stood up for Brother Cat previously, these people might not be able to protect Brother Cat. Stripping away the Emperor rank powerhouses Daos. Once humans have a few more Emperor ranks, it's also for the sake of Brother Cat's safety. The cat said aggrievedly, but I'm not the one who ranked first on the Emperor list. Look for the person who ranked first. It's useless to say that to me. The cat felt even more aggrieved. After a while, it said hesitantly, then just this once. It's so troublesome. Liar. You're so troublesome. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I want to go back to Quichong Mountain to sleep. Fong Ping sighed, rubbing its head, coaxing it like he was coaxing a child. I could sleep in the past, but I can't sleep now. Work harder now. After we're done fighting, you can bask in the sun and sleep every day. When that time comes, I'll plant a bunch of fish demons for you. When you're hungry, they'll automatically send them to your mouth for you to eat. How carefree would that be? The cat could not lift its spirits. It was in slight disbelief. Fong Ping continued to brainwash and paint a picture. As it listened, the cat wavered slightly. After a while, Fong Ping laughed again. Brother Cat, my divine weapon broke previously. Don't you have a god-slaying saber? It's just lying around. I'll keep it for you first. Meow. The cat was in pain. He knew it. Someone was trying to cheat the cat again. If it was someone else, they would at least say borrow. This liar wanted to keep it for him. Do you really think I'm a stupid cat? On the other side, the ignored Jiao's eyes flickered. Can Chef cheat the stupid cat? If he can, I'll cheat too. Let's see if I can cheat a divine weapon. Fong Ping laughed like a wolf grandmother, rubbing the cat's big head. A rank 9 divine weapon would not do. He often broke divine weapons now. Divine weapons were still better. The cat's divine weapon was not left there. Was it not a waste? The sky-crushing sword. It would be best if he could cheat it. Old Man Li could use it. Old Wang seemed to be able to use it too. Fong Ping had heard from the fallen venerable emperor that the sky-crushing sword and war god Bao seemed to be a set. However, Old Wang had no use for it now. He was not strong enough to control 2 divine weapons now. At this moment, the cat had nothing to live for. In the origin space, a shadow grabbed the cat's neck and snatched away its divine weapons one by one. Bells, swords, sabers, they were all snatched. This was too much. In the end, the shadow even snatched the cat and took it away. Meow. Smack. The cat's fur bristled. With a swing of its tail, it sent someone flying thousands of meters away. He even wanted to snatch the cat. Chapter 9:27. In Combat Heavenly Palace. The cat pressed a few emperor corpses with its paws and stared at them for a while. They seemed familiar, but they were all dead. The cat was too lazy to remember. Beside him, Fong Ping covered his cheek. This stupid cat was extraordinarily strong. His neck and face were swollen. Even a ninth-grade golden body could not withstand it. Smack! The cat's tail seemed to swing unintentionally and hit Fong Ping's head again. He deserved to be beaten for scolding the cat. Fong Yuan, who came in with him, saw that her big brother was beaten again and felt some sympathy. This cat was very bad. Fong Ping was helpless. He was not as strong as the cat. Sooner or later. Forget it. He did not want to think about it. The cat seemed to be looking for an opportunity to beat him up. After waiting for a while, there was no response. A flash of regret flashed across the cat's face. He could not beat the liar anymore. Only these three can be stripped. The others can't. 6 emperor corpses. The other 3 were broken and could be considered useless. Fong Ping had expected this. At this moment, he was still surprised. The Tao of the 3 corpses are still there? Yes, the cat said. It was not in a hurry to strip the emperor corpse's Tao. It glanced at Combat Heavenly Palace and muttered. Fong Ping did not hear it clearly. He hurriedly said, "What? Nothing." Fong Ping looked at it suspiciously. "Don't think that I didn't hear what you said." The cat looked guilty. After a while, it muttered, "It's nothing. I didn't kill Jean. I seem to have remembered something, but I forgot." Fong Ping looked at it. After a while, he said, "Tengu besieged Tai Tu's past life and delayed the rescue. Were you the one who ordered it?" "No way." The cat denied it. It denied it and said dejectedly, "I don't remember. Big Dog used to call people to fight. I don't fight." Fong Ping saw its disappointment and laughed. "It's all in the past. It's fine if you don't remember. By the way, was Jean Tini killed by a few emperors?" "I don't know." The cat took out a fishing rod and knocked on a few emperor corpses. It said casually, "I fell asleep at that time. I really fell asleep. When I woke up, the heavenly realm was gone. Big Dog wasn't there either. It was just me. Meow, so many dead people. I ran away." Fong Ping frowned slightly when he heard that. "You're the only one who survived in the entire heavenly realm?" The cat tilted its head and thought about it. It shook its big head and said, "I don't know. I didn't see anyone. Anyway, I didn't see anyone." "Who died? Is the body there?" The old cat did not utter a word. Fong Ping chuckled. "It's been so many years. Let's talk about it. Don't you feel bad holding it in?" The cat remained silent. "Then let me ask one more question. I'm a little curious. Does Brother Cat have a master?" The cat looked at him disdainfully and said, "You are the one who has a master. This cat has no master." "This cat. I'm a beggar." Fong Ping was stunned. The cat said proudly, "Are you stupid? If one person raises you, you can only eat from one family. If no one raises you, you can eat from many families. This cat has eaten all over the heavenly realm, going to every house to eat. After eating, I will run away. Only when I'm in a good mood will I pet you." Cough, cough, cough. Fong Ping almost choked to death. This cat relies on acting cute to make a living? After eating from others, he would let others pet him. Was this what it meant? Why did such a shameless thing come out of the cat's mouth, as if it was a matter of course? At the side, Fong Yuan also felt that her worldview had been refreshed. Was this how this cat became the #1 emperor ranked? That was too easy. The cat wagged its tail, quite happy. It continued to hit the emperor's corpse for a while. Soon, 3 crystal doors materialized in the air. The emperor's corpse disintegrated instantly at this time. It was a little different from King Pine last time. King Pine's corpse did not disintegrate. Fong Ping glanced at it. The cat explained, "They are dead. They have been dead for a long time. That's why they are gone." "Aha!" Fong Ping nodded and took the 3 crystal doors. His eyes were slightly excited. Emperor's Path. The ancient Emperor's Path was 10,000 meters long. In that case, if these 3 paths were to be walked, one could walk 10,000 meters? The cat was not in the mood to care about this. It glanced at the house where unquestionable Jian was staying not far away. It lay on the ground and looked at the house, looking a little sad. Meow. With a soft cry, the cat turned its head to look at Heavenly Battle Emperor's bedroom. Fong Ping and the others did not enter this bedroom. They did not have the time. Fong Ping saw it looking over there and remembered that he seemed to have seen a figure before. He said hurriedly, "Brother Cat, we saw a figure here before. Was it left behind by Heavenly Battle Emperor?" "Yes, I think so." The cat was not sure either. It said casually, but did not go in. It lay outside and said dejectedly, "I remember a little. The four Heavenly Emperors battle, annihilation, tyrant, and battle seem to be all dead. For Heavenly Emperors?" Fong Ping said in surprise, "There are four extreme path Heavenly Emperors." "I think so." The cat gave an uncertain answer again. "Extreme path. There are four extreme path Heavenly Emperors in terms of physique, spiritual consciousness, vitality, and energy." Fong Ping frowned. "Four? Old Yao, Old Wang, Ironhead. If that was the case, there was still one extreme path Heavenly Emperor who had not reincarnated. Energy." Fong Ping thought for a while and said, "Energy is the power used by the catacombs martial artists. Can one walk out of the extreme path with this?" The cat looked at him like he was an idiot again. "Of course." Energy power. At that time, they called it immortal power. I think someone said that this kind of power is better and can go further. Vitality is based on one's body. It can only be born by oneself. But energy is from heaven and earth, so heaven and earth energy is infinite. Vitality is limited. At that time, Battle seemed to have walked on the energy extreme path. I don't remember it very clearly. Then Heavenly Emperor Reverse has also reincarnated? How would I know? In the catacombs? I already said I don't know. The cat was about to cry. It was so annoying. The liar only knew how to ask every day. This cat had to think about it again. Thinking about it gave me a headache. Fong Ping did not ask anymore, but his heart was on guard. "For extreme path, Heavenly Emperors." Fong Ping asked again. "The extreme path Heavenly Emperor has reincarnated. What about the Emperor?" "Brother Cat, you know the Emperor. Have you sensed the Emperor's origin?" "No." "Forget it then." Fong Ping saw that the cat seemed to be really annoyed. This time, he restrained himself and looked at Heavenly Emperor Battle's bedroom. After thinking for a while, he said, "Let's go in and take a look." After a while, Fong Ping entered Heavenly Emperor Battle's bedroom. The bedroom was not much different from the outside. It was very simple. The layout was similar to Unquestionable Jian's. In other words, Unquestionable Jian had built the house based on Heavenly Emperor Battle's bedroom. The study, the cultivation room, the bedroom. In the bedroom, there was a wooden bed. It seemed to be made of ordinary wood, but it had not decayed for 10,000 years. The cultivation room was empty. There was nothing to see. Finally, Fong Ping went to the study. In the study, there was a bookshelf, but there were only a few books. He did not know if they had decayed or if Unquestionable Jian had taken them away. Fong Ping strolled over and glanced at it. There were 3 books in total. There were no crystal books. They were just ordinary books, not made of paper. Fong Ping picked one up and touched it. It did not seem to be made of animal skin. He did not know what it was made of. There were no words on the cover of the 3 books. Fong Ping opened one and glanced at it. Once again, he entered the state of illiteracy. This time, he was really illiterate. This was different from the seal script used in the boundary zone. Last time, Unquestionable Jian had translated random notes. However, there was an antique here. Fong Ping picked up the book and looked at the old cat. The old cat also poked its big head over, saying as if it was true, "Heavenly Battle Art, Heavenly Emperor Battle's ultimate art." "Liar, you've earned big." Fong Ping was stunned. Was it true? Don't tease me. The ultimate art of Heavenly Emperor Extreme Path was just displayed here. Moreover, Unquestionable Jian was not taken away. Fong Ping looked at the old cat, and the old cat looked at him. A man and a cat looked at each other for about 5 seconds. Suddenly, the old cat collapsed, saying shyly, "I might have remembered wrongly, that. This cat seems illiterate." The cat stuttered. "Whose cat is this? Can it read? Was there something wrong with it?" "There was nothing wrong with it." Fong Ping was in a daze for a while, muttering, "Don't you know how to shop online?" "Yes, I know how to eat." Fong Ping was speechless again. "Meow. Don't look at this cat. Big Dog can't read either. Otherwise, Jean, you wouldn't have caught Big Dog to read. Fortunately, this cat was smart and didn't come here. Otherwise, I would have been caught to read too." The old cat was a little relieved. A cat that did not have to read was really blessed. Since it was a cat, it should do what cats should do. Cats that could read were all stupid cats. This cat would not learn. Fong Ping was mentally exhausted. Fong Yuan blushed on behalf of the old cat. He grabbed its tail and sighed. The old cat felt wronged again. What was wrong? So, what if it could not read? Just 3 books? Unquestionable Jin doesn't seem to have anything. Didn't they say that unquestionable Jin went to the heavenly realm? Why didn't he leave any treasures behind? Fong Ping sighed. Although Combat Heavenly Palace was good, there were not many things inside. There was only a courtyard, some flowers, and a few books. Obviously, the dirty places from before were all that was left. Unquestionable Jin did not plan to leave any treasures behind. Those flowers and plants were probably left behind because Unquestionable Jin did not care about them. Fong Ping did not stay in the bedroom for long. He left the bedroom and suddenly soared into the sky. He flew about 30 meters high and sensed the existence of a thin membrane. Fong Ping threw a punch, and the thin membrane trembled slightly. A layer of transparent, thin membrane appeared, like a boundary wall, covering the entire Combat Heavenly Palace. Fong Ping frowned slightly. "It's consuming my mentality. There's no source of energy." As he spoke below, the old cat lay down again. This fellow seemed to be getting lazier and lazier recently. It also seemed to have gotten fatter. It said lazily, "I can use energy ores to replenish my energy. There's no battle's heart here, so I can only use this. With energy ores, I can keep this layer of defense shield activated." "Yes, but the battle's heart is very strong, so it can defend against very strong people. If I use energy ores, I can only defend against fake gods." Fong Ping laughed. "It's not bad. The key to this thing is that it's easy to carry around. Just stuff it into the Sanjiao Gate." "All right, if it's loaded with people, can I stuff them into the Sanjiao Gate?" "Of course not." The old cat was already dumbfounded by his stupid question. It said weakly, "But demon trees can." "Demon trees aren't considered living things." "Demon trees don't count? What about monsters?" "Of course they count." The old cat said weakly again. "In our era, there were no tree powerhouses because trees can't reach the Emperor Realm. I remember there was an Emperor Realm that seemed to be a monster. I think so. It's been so many years, I can't remember. If they can't reach the Emperor Realm, that means that demon trees aren't considered living things." Fong Ping was stunned. He asked suddenly, "Then what are those demon plant powerhouses fighting for now?" "Demon plants can't reach the Emperor Realm. So, what are these demon plants fighting for now?" After all, the demon plant demon clan was the main force of the war between demons and humans. Monsters, on the other hand, were not that concerned. The old cat shook its head. "I don't know. I'm asleep. Maybe the seed of rebirth can? Maybe. I don't seem to remember this." Fong Ping connected the dots in his mind instantly. Demon plants could not reach the Emperor Realm. In other words, the path of demon plants was limited. However, someone told them that demon plants could also have life. They could become real life. They could also walk out of the Emperor Realm. How? The seed of rebirth. Demon plants did not have emotions. They did not have gender. They were actually very dull and old-fashioned. Demon swordsmen and these demon plants were loyal to Unquestionable Jin, but it did not mean that they had emotions. Everyone was shocked by what happened between Rose Flower and Rose City Lord. It was because demon plants did not have emotions that everyone was shocked. So, the demon plant clan has been fighting on the front lines all these years. Maybe it's to let the demon plant clan become a clan with real life? They are actually not considered complete lives? Fong Ping's heart was in turmoil. Was that so? After thinking for a while, Fong Ping took a deep breath. He took a look at the situation inside Combat Heavenly Palace and said, Let's go. He did not take anything. He only took the 3 books from Combat Heavenly Emperor's bedroom. He wondered if he could find someone to translate them. There should be people who could understand the words of the heavenly realm, right? Just as Fong Ping left Combat Heavenly Palace. Sky Plant City. Imperial Court. Basilica. At this moment, some people with powerful auras were sitting in the basilica. The atmosphere in the basilica was tense and quiet. The Maple Emperor, who did not even go to the monarch tomb this time, showed up at this moment. He glanced at Li Zhu, who was sitting calmly, and calmly said, Li Zhu, ranked 10th on the monarch ranking. Should I address him as martial monarch? Li Zhu did not speak. Below, King Hua was not as hostile as Maple King. He chuckled and said, King Li, this is really unexpected. I did not expect this. Then he looked at the right divine general beside him, who had not said a word, and said with a smile, Ancient King, I really didn't expect that among the 3 divine generals of Li Huagu in the past, there would be a venerable sovereign and a real king. Congratulations. As soon as he said this, some of the true kings in the basilica had a strange look in their eyes. Among the 3 Li Huagu divine generals, it was understandable if there was a true king, but there was an emperor. What was the situation 10 years ago? If Li Zhu was only a true king, it was understandable since he had recovered from his injuries and achieved a breakthrough. However, the 10th on the emperor ranking surpassed many powerhouses. He was even stronger than the Myriad Goblin King and the Sky Goblin King. It was not normal. Was it just a part of Li Zhu's plan? If so, the left divine general had died for nothing. As for the right divine general who had been injured for many years and protected Li Zhu, he had become a joke. At this moment, Li Zhu spoke. His voice was calm as usual. He coughed and said slowly, Emperor ranking? Someone is just trying to stir up trouble. Can't you tell if Li Zhu has the strength of a martial monarch? The Maple Emperor said calmly, I don't have the strength to see through a martial monarch. Maple Emperor, you must be joking. Even though the Maple Emperor was slightly intimidated, he still said in a cold tone, Li Zhu, there's no point in putting on an act now. I'm here to ask, what's the decision regarding the matter between the 2 kings? Li Zhu said smilingly, the true Emperor Hall will make the decision. True Emperor Hall? The Maple Emperor's gaze turned cold. King Qian has been missing for many years, and he's ranked 4th on the monarch ranking. Where did he go? What are you planning? If you and King Qian are so strong, why haven't you done anything all these years? Maple Emperor, you must be joking. Over 10 years ago, I did make a move. Unfortunately, I was no match against the Underworld Emperor and lost my origin, Li Zhu said smilingly. As for King Qian, I have no idea about it. I have no right to interfere with the true Emperor Hall's decision. How would I know about it? Li Zhu denied it. The crowd fell silent once again. What could they do if he denied it? Was the monarch ranking accurate? If it was accurate, then this person was terrifyingly strong, and no one dared to test him. If it wasn't accurate, then there was no need to come here. Seeing the silence, King Hua said smilingly, King Li, I'm here to ask for your opinion. The Heaven Plant's royal court used to be the strongest faction in the God Continent. But now, something unexpected has happened. The Heaven Fate royal court still has a Fate monarch, and the Land of Rebirth has King Wu and Heavenly King Zhen, 2 monarch realm experts. Heavenly King Zhen is ranked 2nd on the monarch ranking. The Sky Beyond Heaven, the Forbidden Ocean, and the World Zone all have monarch realm experts. On the other hand, the Heaven Plant's royal court has no one to suppress them. Now everyone in the royal court is panicking, and King Qian hasn't shown himself for a long time. On the monarch ranking, only King Li is ranked 1st. King Li, I have no choice, King Hua said with a sigh. The Heaven Plant's royal court had always claimed to be the strongest faction. The only faction that could be on par with them was the 10,000 Demon Royal Court. But now, they were the weakest among the factions. 49 true monarch realm experts. 6 true monarchs had fallen in the previous battle, and 5 of them were from the Heaven Plant's royal court. Apart from King 100 Mountain, the true monarchs who had died previously were all from the Heaven Plant's royal court. 44 true monarchs, including the right divine general's breakthrough, were only left with 45 true monarchs. It was hard to say for Li Zhu. 45 true monarchs were not a small number. However, King Qian, the Hall Master, was nowhere to be seen. The Hall Masters of the other 3 royal courts had shown up a few times, and Life Monarch was even more frequent. Under such circumstances, the Heaven Plant's royal court was indeed unstable after the death of 5 true monarchs. Li Zhu looked helpless and sighed. King Hua, we have to ask King Qian for help. Seeing everyone still looking at him, Li Zhu sighed again. Whether the monarchs believe me or not, I can't do anything about it. If you really want me to say something, we can give up on the monarch's battlefield. Give up? King Feng frowned. At the monarch's battlefield, the 2 monarchs are in deep slumber. In the past, when the 2 monarchs were in power, the other monarchs were like slaves. Li Zhu, are you willing to see the return of the 2 monarchs and recreate the era of the 2 monarchs? Li Zhu pondered for a moment. The 2 monarchs aren't invincible. Heaven's subduing king, demon monarch, King Qian, all of them can be defeated. Things are different now. Back then, the experts of the demon monarch era had yet to appear. If the 2 monarchs want to unify God continent, they will have to see if those grandmasters agree. I feel that there is no need for everyone to waste too much energy on the 2 monarchs. Seeing that they were about to speak again, Li Zhu smiled. I feel that we should let Life Monarch and the others test it out. Of course, the monarch's battlefield is extremely important. Now that an ancient expert said that there are remnants of the demon monarch treasure at the monarch's battlefield, it is suspected to be related to the seed of rebirth. If the experts of God continent want to continue, the seed of rebirth must be obtained. This has never changed in the past hundreds of years. Since Life Monarch wants to kill the 2 monarchs, why not let him test it out? I feel that we should be more concerned about the demon monarch treasure. King Huan nodded slightly. That's true. Moreover, the chaos origin source at the monarch's battlefield has yet to be broken, so we cannot attack recklessly. Previously, Life Monarch suggested to let warriors below the true monarch stage enter the monarch's battlefield to test it out and see if we can seize the opportunity to obtain the treasure. If the 2 monarchs are awake and unleash their full strength, the chaos origin source will definitely be thrown into chaos from the inside. The monarch's battlefield will collapse on its own, and the 2 monarchs' greatest reliance will disappear if they don't make a move or aren't awake. There is hope to obtain the demon monarch treasure. At this moment, Feng King didn't bother Li Zhu anymore. He said with a bland tone, in fact, the seal in this place has been weakening. As expected, when the seal is broken automatically, it will be the time when the 2 kings' powers will reach their peak. No matter what, we cannot let the 2 monarchs recover to their peak. Either we force the 2 monarchs to make a move, or we think of a way to break the monarch's battlefield from the inside. His meaning was clear. He wanted to send people to the monarch's battlefield. Li Zhu smiled. Now that the seal is weakening, can the true monarchs enter? The true monarchs are still too powerful. The origin energy is dense, and it will easily cause the chaos origin to attack. A few days ago, we tested it. In a few days, everyone below the true monarch stage should be able to enter. Li Zhu heard this and sighed again. That's troublesome. Qi Huanyu from Destiny Royal Court, Su Yunfei from the Land of Rebirth, Wu Quishan, and the rest are all powerhouses in the Divine Path, including Feng Ping. It's difficult to compete with them. King Feng frowned. It's not that easy for martial artists from the Land of Rebirth to enter. King Hua smiled. Feng Ji, you may not know this, but Life Monarch has already agreed. What right does Life Monarch have to agree? I have no choice but to agree. King Hua smiled. You were in closed-door cultivation a few days ago, so you don't know the inside story. In the Land of Rebirth, powerhouses joined forces to threaten Life Monarch. Taking advantage of the appearance of Outland, they forced Life Monarch to agree to explore the Monarch's battlefield together. Who wouldn't be tempted by the Demon Monarch treasure? Back then, the Battle of the Monarchs and the Monarch's battlefield was for this item. Now, it has attracted the attention of all parties. King Feng frowned, but did not say anything. In the Land of Rebirth, The suppressing heavenly king ranked second in the three realms and seventh in the three realms of martial kings. These people were all peerless powerhouses. This time, the demon monarch treasure had tempted everyone. Even Life Monarch was afraid of causing unnecessary trouble and had no choice but to agree to explore together. Was there any use in his objection? King Feng was dissatisfied. After some thought, he said in a low voice, "Then we'll summon the royal city lords, divine sect elders, and dynasty powerhouses to enter together. No matter how strong Qi Huanyu and the rest are, they're still divine path, not true monarchs." There was no lack of rank 9 powerhouses in the catacombs. There were 360 royal city lords, powerhouses from various divine sects and dynasty, powerhouses from other regions, and true monarch subordinates. There were many rank 9s. No matter how strong Qi Huanyu and the rest were, they could fight 1 against 10, but what about 100? As he spoke, King Feng continued, "This time we still need someone to go and suppress the strong enemy. Li Zhu, you won't be going, right?" Li Zhu's expression was bitter. He sighed. "Since King Feng doesn't believe me, then I'll go and give it a try. If I can really scare the powerhouses, it'll be my honor." King Feng glanced at him, his eyes cold and stern. He did not say anything. If Li Zhu really went, there might be a chance to test the waters. This person had been pretending to be dead for all these years. He wanted to see if he was really dead or just faking it. If he really had Emperor-level strength, then there must be a big plan. Chapter 9:28. In the next few days, Demonic City began to prepare for the World Martial Tournament. The so-called World Martial Meet was where the people from the 6 great holy lands came to Shanghai to discuss the matter of the King Battle. In the last World Martial Arts Youth Competition, all the participants were of the younger generation. This time, the ones who came were all veteran powerhouses. As for Fang Ping, from a young martial artist who participated in the competition in the beginning, he was now the leader of the National Martial Arts Association. On the Hua Nation side, the absolute elites did not show up. Since it was held in Magic City and the Heaven Division was in charge, Fang Ping naturally became one of the leaders of this meeting. Shanghai Airport. A private plane slowly landed. Soon the plane stopped. On the plane, several experts with blonde hair and blue eyes slowly floated down from the sky. "Rosses, what do you think?" At this moment, someone among the people who landed in midair asked with a smile. Roses, the team leader of the Paradise of Gods in the youth tournament. He was known as the unbeatable young powerhouse among rank 6 martial artists. That day, when he came to China to participate in the competition, he was full of confidence, but in the end he returned in a sorry state. The current Rosses was much more mature than before. His golden hair shone even more brilliantly. Hearing his companion beside him speak, Rosses said calmly, "Fang killed many people in the Demon's Den and is now ranked at the top of the Wind Cloud list. I can no longer compare to him." He admitted defeat just like that? The young man who had just asked the question chuckled again. Rosses looked at his companion, thought for a moment, and said slowly, "This time, we're here to discuss the matter of the Imperial Battleground. Modi, although you're a descendant of God of War, I advise you not to provoke Fang Ping." His companion was a direct descendant of the God of War. He was stronger and older than him. Now he had entered rank 8. However, a rank 8 wanted to provoke Fang Ping? Motor seemed to be somewhat dissatisfied. Just as he was about to speak, a middle-aged, golden-haired powerhouse in front of them said indifferently, "Motor, shut up. No one can save you for stirring up trouble in China this time." He paused, then added, "If you provoke Fang Ping, you'll die a horrible death. Don't cause trouble for His Holiness, the God of War." As soon as he said that, Motor's expression changed slightly. She asked telepathically, "Is Fang Ping really that scary?" The middle-aged man in front said quickly, "Fang Ping is naturally no match for His Holiness, God of War. However, the Martial King realm is powerful, and he is now the leader of all 6 holy lands. He cannot be offended." "Respected leader? How come I didn't know about this?" Motor was astonished. The 6 holy lands respected the Martial King as their leader. but no one had ever mentioned this before. Just 2 days ago, the 6 holy lands reached an agreement. Now, King Wu is the leader of the Earth side, so as to avoid being defeated one by one. But stop doubting me. The middle-aged man at the front had already seen the Huan nation powerhouses who had come to greet them. He quickly said, "You and Rosas are only observers in this meeting. You do not have any voting rights. Remember my words. Don't provoke Fong Ping. You're the descendant of His Holiness, the God of War. If you get into a conflict with ordinary martial artists in Sino Nation won't punish you too harshly. If you get into a conflict with Fong Ping and get killed, His Holiness, the God of War won't intervene." Hearing this, Motor's expression turned solemn. Killed? He was one of the only 2 descendants of the God of War, and he could do whatever he wanted in the Hall of Gods. But now he was actually told that even if he was killed, no one would come forward. This made Mortier even more vigilant and surprised. Sino Nation's Fong Ping. Right now, Fong Ping's name was known to the entire world. After all, both parties had never met before. He really did not understand what Fong Ping meant. The powerhouses from the Hall of Gods arrived. Not long after, Fong Ping's acquaintances arrived as well. Not long after the powerhouses from the Hall of Gods left, another plane landed. A group of black-robed martial artists walked out. The people from the Andes had arrived. The black-robed woman who had participated in the youth tournament, Luska, was now less cold than before. She no longer covered her face, revealing her exquisite features. However, there was a hint of fatigue in her eyes. During the battle in the Magic City catacombs earlier, Sino Nation had won a great victory and killed many true kings. However, there were not many peerless martial artists in the Andes. Yet a peerless martial artist had been killed. This peerless martial artist was Luska's ancestor. After getting off the plane, a yellow-skinned middle-aged man with long brown hair stood beside Luska. He spoke telepathically. "Luska, your ancestor has fallen. Now, the family's glory is gone. Sino Nation's Fong Ping is still unmarried. You got to know Fong Ping during the youth tournament. This time, you can test him." Luska glanced at the middle-aged man. He was from the same generation as her grandfather. But now, when he mentioned Fong Ping, there was a hint of flattery in his tone. Luska did not speak. She lowered her head and did not reply. The middle-aged man did not say much either. He sighed in his heart. Sino Nation's Fong Ping. Nowadays, who did not want to be friends with all the forces? Fong Ping was not married yet. This time, there would be many people eyeing him. Totem City, 10,000 Pagodas World, Ancient Buddha Holy Land. Various forces, as well as some representatives from other countries, arrived in Magic City one after another. Rank 8 and 9 powerhouses, who were rarely seen, appeared frequently in Magic City these few days. However, Fong Ping did not show up. It was Tian Mu and the others who were in charge of receiving them. He did not show up, and no one questioned anything. Even when the people from Star City arrived, Fong Ping did not show up. Everyone thought that Fong Ping was cultivating in seclusion, so no one mentioned this. Fong Ping, who was mistaken for being in seclusion, was now lying lazily on the lawn. His left hand was pinching the cat's big head. His right hand was pinching Fong Yuan's chubby little face. Both feet were on the Jiao's back, basking in the sun. Of course, the Jiao was obviously not satisfied. Chef was getting more and more out of hand. Unfortunately, its resistance was futile. Chef was getting stronger and stronger. It felt that he was scarier than a monster. Plus, since the dumb cat's head was pinched, the Jiao accepted its fate. The Jiao's heart was filled with infinite contempt. The dumb cat was so strong, and he pinched its head just like that. Did it not know how to resist? The cat clearly had no intention of doing that. Pinching it was fine. Resisting was too tiring. The trickster said that he would get some drinks for it this time. They were waiting to eat beef together. The cat was thinking about the drinks, so it could not be bothered about the trickster pinching its head. Since there was food to eat, there was no harm in pinching it. Big Cat, those foreign powerhouses, did they exist in the past? From Lord Cat to Brother Cat to Big Cat, Fong Ping changed the way he addressed it naturally, without any sense of awkwardness. The cat did not seem to understand. It squinted, basked in the sun, and said lazily, "Yes, but there weren't many powerhouses in the past. In the past, the human world was a big pancake. They lived around it. Later, when the land broke, they floated away." "Is that so?" Fong Ping was surprised. He asked curiously, "Earth and the catacombs, were they really one in the past?" "Yes." The cat swallowed the chicken drumstick in front of it lazily and continued. "In the beginning, it was a very, very big sea with 3 pancakes on it. The celestial realm was the biggest, the land realm was the second biggest, and the human world was the third. Then they separated. Someone moved the celestial realm to the sky, the land realm stayed where it was, and the human world was moved to one side. Then they built the celestial realm wall, and then there were the 3 realms." "Who did it?" Fong Ping was still a little shocked. How big was the catacombs? The current catacomb surface area was 10 times the size of Earth's land, and this was not all. Back then, most of it was destroyed, and only a small part was left. All the emperors? The cat stole the snacks in front of Fong Yuan again. Satisfied, it continued, "I think so. Who cares?" Fong Yuan rolled her eyes. This cat was so shameless. It hid so many snacks and still wanted to steal hers. Fong Ping thought for a while, then said casually, "Big cat, let me use the god-slaying saber. I'll cut you some beef." "Oh no!" The cat came to a sudden realization. It glanced at Fong Ping from the corner of its eyes and said unhappily, "The god-slaying saber is for me to cut the fish. It'll be gone if I give it to you." "Big cat, you've really misunderstood me." Fong Ping sighed. "You said you don't eat people. It's disgusting. But what is the god-slaying saber? A divine weapon. Have you killed people before?" "Yes. Many of them. Those intestines, brain matter, even feces. Teske. I don't know how much they've stained. It's so disgusting." The cat's expression changed. "You actually used it to cut fish. Tell me, did you eat those? All kinds of feces. It's so disgusting." "Wretch!" The cat seemed to be disgusted. It stretched its fat neck and wanted to retch. Liar. What he said made sense. The god-slaying saber had killed people before. It had stabbed many people to death. I actually used it to cut fish. Why didn't I think of it before? Didn't that mean that I ate a lot of those things?" The cat retched again. "Stupid cat." The Jiao cursed again in its heart. "Pretentious. What was this? You actually wanted to vomit. If this was not pretentious, then what was?" Fong Ping continued. "That's why I want you to keep it with me. Or else, you'll think about it every time you see it. You'll think about those people's blood, those intestines, those feces. Smack." The cat's tail whipped him, its eyes full of grievance. "You're still talking about it? I'm going to vomit if you keep talking." Fong Ping sighed. "Let's not talk about it anymore. Do whatever you want. Keep it for yourself. Take it out and lick it when you're free. It tastes good too." "Meow." The cat could not take it anymore. It said pitifully, "Stop talking. I'll lend it to you. Divine weapons don't stain those things. They'll stain a little. You're still talking. Let's not talk about it anymore. Big cat, where's the god-slaying saber?" The cat was a little gloomy. It dug around with its claws. It did not know where it got it from. After a while, a blood-red kitchen knife appeared in its claws. Fong Ping took a look. His face turned green. Kitchen knife? Was it really a kitchen knife? The cat seemed to know what he was thinking. It muttered, "It can be transformed. It can be transformed into something that's a little bigger." Fong Ping heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed to be true. Old Yao and the other's divine weapons could transform. Fong Ping took the kitchen knife. Just as he was about to speak, the cat looked at him and said, "You have to return it to me. Those who don't return it are all dead." "Okay." Fong Ping agreed readily. As for when he would return it, he would think about it when he no longer needed it. The god-slaying saber in his hands was no different from an ordinary divine weapon. Fong Ping asked curiously, "Other than being sturdy, is there no other benefit to this divine weapon?" "There is," the cat said quickly. "When you cut the fish, you can use less strength." Fong Ping changed it. When he killed someone, he could use less strength. It seemed like the increase was not small. That's it? Divine weapons were sought after by powerhouses. Fong Ping felt that there must be some other special effects, right? You can get the origin space. This time, the cat said something that Fong Ping did not know. You can use the kitchen knife to hack other people's DAOs. It's fun. Fong Ping's expression changed slightly. He said quickly, "You mean I can bring divine weapons into the origin space or the origin DAO?" The cat said gloomily, "Don't you know? Don't you have a small armor? The origin battle armor is an imitation of divine weapons, and it's an imitation of emperor armor." Fong Ping was sober now. He had almost forgotten that he had a set of origin battle armor. Since the origin battle armor could be brought into the origin space to increase defense, of course, divine weapons could be brought in too. If that's the case, when I fight with people with divine weapons, I can touch their origin DAO and hack their origin DAO with divine weapons? Yes. Fong Ping was shocked. This could work. Was this a divine weapon? In the origin DAO, he did not have any attack power. Previously, when he peeked at some people's origin DAO, he was just looking. He did not expect this. Fong Ping started fantasizing in his heart. If he entered the peak of the origin DAO and hacked it with the god-slaying saber, could he hack it to death? The cat seemed to know what he was thinking. It said lazily, "Even if you have divine weapons, you can't hack them. True gods are very strong. If you go in, they might find out and then kick you out. Otherwise, they will stab you to death." Fong Ping thought about it and agreed, but he still said excitedly, "If that's the case, if I hold the god-slaying saber, maybe I can quietly hack those top-rank 9s to death." "I don't know. Try it." The cat was too lazy to answer. It was about to fall asleep because of the sun. Seeing that, Fong Ping did not ask anymore. He was satisfied. After basking in the sun for a few days, he finally tricked the god-slaying saber. It was worth it. However, Fong Ping soon realized a problem. He seemed to be unable to use it. He could not help but ask, "Can I refine it? This is mine. It has an owner. Unless you become a true god. Otherwise, you can't refine it." The cat was a little awake now. It seemed to be snickering. "You can only use it now. If you lose it, you can't get it back. This cat can take it back." Fong Ping was gloomy. This cat was not that stupid. It actually had a trick up its sleeve. The cat did not care if he scolded it or not. It was already good enough to lend it to him. If you don't want to return it, it would not do it. Fong Ping had obtained the god-slaying saber. His goal was considered achieved. As for the Sky Destroyer and the rest, he would keep them first. The cat's fur had to be plucked little by little. It would not be good if the cat was afraid of being plucked all of a sudden. After ravaging the cat's big head again, Fong Ping stood up and pulled himself together. His lethargy disappeared instantly. He said energetically, "Then you continue playing with Fong Yuan. Don't go to the catacombs if you have nothing to do. Gun, brush the big cat's fur properly. I'm leaving first." Fong Yuan was gloomy. She had really become a brush. Her brother did not let her go to school now. He was a professional brush. Fong Ping did not care if she was gloomy or not. Fong Yuan was still very safe with the cat. This cat was strong, and so was its little brother. If the cat could not protect her, old Zhang might not be able to. After leaving the district, Fong Ping was no longer smiling cheekily. His expression turned serious. Outside the district, there were already many people waiting. When Beigong Yin saw him coming out, he could not help but let out a sigh of relief. "Minister Fong, everyone is almost here. They're all at the Heaven Division now. When will the meeting officially start? Are there any paragons coming?" "Yes," Beigong Yin said, "but Desperate Realm won't show up this time. Minister Chun has also arrived. I don't know where he is receiving these paragons now. He hasn't shown up yet." "Got it." Fong Ping's speed was extremely fast. Although he was walking and looked slow at this moment, he was not slower than the cars nearby. After walking for a while, he asked, "Are all the families sure that the second king won't make a move? There's no definite news for now. There must be a clear answer. Otherwise, they can just casually slap everyone to death. Who can reason with them then?" "I'm afraid we can only get an official answer when the meeting starts." Fong Ping did not go into details. These things could wait until the meeting started. This time, Representatives from the 6 Holy Lands had arrived. Their main target was the treasure left behind by the demon emperor or the earthly emperor's projection. Fong Ping was more curious now. What was this treasure? He had been to the place where the kings fought twice, but he had never gone deep into it. Even Star Town had been exploring, allowing Star Town's rank 9 to move around in the place where the kings fought. Clearly, this was approved by Heavenly King Garrison. Even Heavenly King Garrison was tempted? Fong Ping did not know much about Heavenly King Garrison. However, a powerhouse like Heavenly King Garrison would probably not be interested in ordinary treasures, right? Is it related to the Seed of Rebirth? Fong Ping guessed in his heart. Perhaps he could find out some secrets when the meeting started. P.S. I'm so tired I want to close my eyes. That's it for today. I'm drowsy from writing. 4,500 words is not considered a small chapter. Chapter 9:29. Heaven Division. The island where the top military academy used to be had now been turned into the headquarters of the Heaven Department. On the cruise, Fong Ping stood at the bow of the ship and said suddenly, "The Heaven Division needs a guardian beast in the water. It has to be strong. This is to prevent people from spying on Tian Division when we leave." Beigong Yan's face scrunched up. Demonic beasts? The ash cat seems to be preparing to feed the gopher, and the phoenix spirit the emperor-level beef. After eating it, perhaps the two will become a little stronger. Let the gopher enter the underground of the Heaven Division and be in charge of guarding the underground of the Heaven Division. The phoenix spirit will guard the sky of the Heaven Division. Beigong Yin couldn't help but ask, "Is this necessary?" "Yes," Fong Ping said in a low voice. "You've seen for yourself what the Heaven Division is doing. The number of people they're arresting has increased, and the number of secrets has increased. Shin San and Li Yi are both imprisoned in the Tian Division. We have to prevent anyone from breaking them out." Beigong Yin was dumbfounded. Rescue? There was no such saying. According to what Fong Ping was saying, he was going to arrest people in the future? Fong Ping looked at the island. After pondering for a moment, he said, "When I get back, I'll ask a few ministers to move the island another 100 li into the sea." This time, Beigong Yin was even more surprised. In a slightly solemn voice, he said, "Minister Fong, you mean chaos is coming?" Fong Ping said calmly, "Earth may not always be so stable." The Great Peace Celestial Emperor had been killed, but the minister had never found where Great Peace Heaven was. Beyond heaven was the space passageway that connected the catacombs and Earth. Previously, due to the strength of the boundary wall, their passageway to the catacombs seemed to have been closed and sealed. But now, according to reliable information, the people of the realm beyond Avalon seemed to be able to connect the two realms, and they no longer needed to enter and exit from a single passage. In addition, according to reliable information, there are indeed passageways connecting the domains to Earth. Other than the destroyed Purple Cap Mountain, the other 6 domains, except for Mount Wanwu, seem to have some unusual movements. They may be preparing to open the passageway to Earth. Beigong Yan's expression changed. Hasn't Gong Zhuanzi already left the mountain? He's the only one in the Kuoking Mountain. Why does he want to open the passageway? Not sure. Fong Ping laughed. Maybe these venerable emperors are unwilling to be controlled by others. Now, the passageways are in the hands of humans and the catacombs. Both sides are paying close attention. Their every move is in our eyes. Since that's the case, it's naturally more convenient for them to open the passage themselves. Beigong Yin frowned and said, "But this way, these experts will be able to enter and leave Earth as they wish. That's going to be troublesome. There are so many ordinary people in the world. If they casually release their aura, it could lead to the death of tens of millions of people." Fong Ping nodded and said, "This is indeed a huge problem. Moreover, I'm more worried that the catacombs powerhouses will join forces with the Grandmasters. This will be even more troublesome." Now, there were signs of this. The catacombs powerhouses were not idiots. Now that these ancient powerhouses had appeared out of nowhere, they would not remain silent. "I heard that mysterious powerhouses have started to appear in the catacombs." a mysterious expert? Some experts from the Demon Emperor's era. Fong Ping laughed. The Demon Emperor God dynasty has been annihilated. Do you really think that only the two kings survived? The two kings were not all that the Demon Emperor God dynasty had. Back when the Demon Emperor God dynasty ruled over the three realms, the two kings had been nothing more than generals and overlords. Other than that, there were some other powerhouses, not just from the era of the two kings. After the two kings went into hibernation, there was a gap of more than 1,000 years before unquestionable Jian entered the catacombs. You don't think that these 1,000 years have been so peaceful, do you? After the Demon Emperor God dynasty had been annihilated, the two kings had led a group of people to escape to the current Forbidden Zone. After that, a war with the bounded boundaries had erupted. The survivors led by the two kings were not all that the earthly Emperor God dynasty had. Overseas, there were still some remnants of the earthly Emperor God dynasty. After the war in the bounded boundaries, there had been more than 1,000 years before unquestionable Jian entered the catacombs. Were there no powerhouses in the catacombs in these 1,000 years? The Life Kings and the others had actually been around for nearly 1,000 years. When unquestionable Jian had entered the catacombs, he had killed a large number of powerhouses. Many of the ancient antiques in the catacombs had been killed. However, some of them had not died. Instead, they had been hiding ever since. Beigong Yan's expression grew more and more solemn. The world was going to be in chaos. But what about the civilians? 107 passageways had been opened. Now, Grandmasters and the bounded boundaries were about to open passageways. More and more passageways were opening. The barrier between the two realms was now riddled with holes. Humans could no longer defend. When all 108 passageways had been opened, the entire bounded boundaries would shatter. When that time came, it would no longer be about defending the passageways. The two realms would become one. Today's line of defense might completely collapse. The more he thought about it, the more nervous Beigong Yan became. Faint beads of sweat dripped from his forehead. Minister Fong, has the 3 ministries and 4 residences made a decision on this matter? Fong Ping nodded slightly. Let's wait a little longer. After this meeting, the 4 ministries and 4 residences, including the 6 great holy lands and the governments of various countries, will hold a high-level meeting. We will discuss how to deal with the upcoming predicament. As he spoke, Fong Ping returned to the earlier topic. That's why I said that we need to relocate the headquarters of heaven. 100 miles away from the sea, there seems to be a Grandmaster. They seem to still be in the catacombs and haven't opened a passageway to Earth. But we have to be on guard. Heaven will be guarding this place and suppressing a Grandmaster. It's not just us. The 4 houses of guardians and the 3 ministries might also relocate their headquarters, suppress the catacombs passageways, suppress the Grandmaster or the bounded boundaries. But they have venerable emperors. It doesn't matter. Fong Ping smiled. We're mainly defending the ordinary martial artists in those places. There don't seem to be many survivors in the bounded boundaries, but there are quite a few Grandmasters. The Grandmasters aren't considered powerful, and the place isn't big either, but there are still 500 survivors. Some Grandmasters might be a small world. It's not unusual to have tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of people. When Beigong Yan heard this, he could not help but sigh. Tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people. I'm afraid there are quite a lot of powerhouses among them. Fong Ping nodded slightly and said, it's not just them. After this, the 6 great holy lands might open up to the public. They might even recruit disciples from the outside like the Grandmaster. I've communicated with the people in Star Town previously. In Star Town, a few families seem to be interested in this. Nowadays, most of the people in Star Town are direct descendants of the peerless elites. Once the world is in chaos, there will be more deaths. These peerless elites can't bear to see their family's disciples die or get injured. All these years, they've saved up quite a lot of good stuff. Some of them have even recruited a group of disciples in secret. They might return soon. Beigong Yan was not surprised this time. He nodded and said, we know about this. In the world of sects, some sects are actually passed down from Star Town. Some of their founders are people from Star Town. Fong Ping nodded first, then exhaled softly. This is only on the surface. No one knows how everyone has arranged in secret. Having said that, Fong Ping grinned. Others aside, do you think old Zhang has a backup plan, Commander Beigong? Did he really not make any preparations all these years? Beigong Yin did not care about how he addressed him. He thought for a while and said, "It's very difficult. Most of the resources that the minister has gathered all these years have been invested into the Wuhan military. If he really wanted to train a group of people, where would he hide them?" Fong Ping thought about it and agreed. He said, "Let's not think about this for now. Anyway, the Heaven Division's defense system must be established. At the critical moment, they might transfer a group of people into the Heaven Division. It's not that I'm being selfish, but some of the powerhouses' family members must be transferred. Nowadays, many powerhouses are fighting outside. Previously, Earth was peaceful, so everything was fine. The probability of something happening to their family members was not high. But now, it's hard to say. Some high-ranked powerhouses' family members must be properly settled to prevent them from being used. Sino Nation has been accumulating for so many years. There are only so many powerhouses. If they're used and killed, it'll be a huge loss. We can't afford it." "I understand." Beigong Yin did not say anything. He did not have to care about this before, but now he had to be more careful. Ghosts and monsters had appeared. Earth was full of loopholes now. Some grandmasters also cultivated the path of vitality. Even if they mixed into the human world, they might not be able to tell them apart. Under such circumstances, everyone had no choice but to be careful. Fong Ping was still talking to Beigong Yin. Sun City. On both sides of the noisy street, in a tea house, a group of people had booked the entire third floor. A small half of Sun City's street area came into view. There were old and young people, men and women in this group. After the waitress had served tea, they went downstairs. In the crowd, a young man rubbed his hair. He was not used to it and said, "Master, why do we have to shave our heads? Our bodies, hair, and skin are given by our parents." By the window, a white-haired old man looked down at the street. He picked up his teacup and took a sip, chuckling. "When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Since the human world is like this now, then we should change too." But the old man did not wait for him to finish. He looked at the others and said, "There are secrets in the human world, big secrets. Ever since the opening of the heaven-human barrier, human martial artist cultivation has been restricted. Under normal circumstances, human martial artists can't cultivate to true God level. But now, there are not only true God-level martial artists, but also emperor powerhouses." In the crowd, a middle-aged man said, "Senior, I heard that they all broke through in the land realm. That's not strange, is it?" The old man smiled. "That's right. They all broke through in the land realm. But in the human world, there have been many who stepped into the origin realm. The origin realm isn't that easy to achieve. The emperor once said that there might be some changes in the human world, making it easier to break through. Now, some grandmasters want to establish their own sects in the human world. They all want to test if that's the case. If that's the case, I'm afraid all forces will swarm into the human world. The seed of rebirth is in the human world. Maybe it's because of the seed of rebirth that the human world's great path is more obvious and has gaps. It's easier to peep into the great path. This great era is not only an opportunity for Emperor, but also for us. We can step into the origin realm, the true God level, and even the Emperor realm more easily." The old man's eyes gleamed as he said, "In a situation where spiritual energy is almost extinct, where cultivation methods have disappeared, and where only the most basic methods like the method of honing are passed down, where people can practice martial arts without any barriers. Is it really normal for so many divine realm martial artists to appear in the human world?" The old man became more and more excited. Less than 100 years. There are more than 2,000 divine realm martial artists in the human world. There are more than 500 golden body martial artists and hundreds of origin realm martial artists. Is this normal? Hearing this, everyone frowned. The middle-aged martial artist said in a deep voice, It took me 500 years to cultivate to the origin realm, and that was when there was enough spiritual chi and elixirs to peep into the origin realm. I didn't think too much about it before, but now that you mentioned it, it's indeed very strange." The old man nodded. "That's right. 100 years ago, everything was normal. 1,000 years ago, martial arts in the human world were about to die out. The demon emperor entered the catacombs to prevent martial arts in the human world from dying out. However, even if the demon emperor opened the crack in the world wall and let some spiritual chi seep into the human world, it was still difficult to save the situation. Until 100 years ago, this situation changed. The new martial arts era began in the human world, and powerhouses kept emerging. It was related to the opening of the passage and the entry of martial artists into the land realm. However, according to Emperor's speculation, it's more likely that there are abnormalities in the human world. The seed of rebirth may have begun to move, and that's why the human world is now." The old man said in a deep voice. "This matter may be related to a few people. Shun, Chun, Zhang Li Nan Fong. These 6 people may have something to do with the fact that it's easier to comprehend the human world. Among the crowd, some were at a loss, while some were deep in thought. The middle-aged martial artist murmured, "China has 4 departments and 4 residences now, and these 6 people are the leaders of 4 departments and 2 residences." "Senior brother, you mean it's not my intention?" The old man said with a smile. "It's Emperor's order. Investigate. Investigate these 6 people's past thoroughly. Shun and Chun might just be a catalyst. They came from the blessed grotto heaven. This is not fake. The ones we really need to investigate are the other 4. Li Nancha, Zhang Taiqiang Nan. I don't feel it obvious, but Fong." He rose too quickly. "The increase in martial arts powerhouses in Sino Nation has a lot to do with him." As the old man said this, everyone remembered some of the information they had obtained earlier. Everyone nodded. It was indeed abnormal. The people of the new martial arts era did not feel anything. They all thought that Fong Ping had brought back a large number of resources, and that was why so many powerhouses were forged. However, they were not martial artists. What did martial artists know? How could illuminating God be so simple? But now, a large number of martial artists around Fong Ping had become illuminating martial artists. Not to mention golden bodies and origin, especially origin. Was it really that easy to comprehend the Tao? Was it that simple? However, on Fong Ping's side, some of the people he came into contact with had stepped into origin quickly. This was abnormal. The old man's eyes wandered, and he said slowly, "Emperor said that Fong Ping might have something to do with the seed of rebirth. He opened a gap in the origin of Tao, making it easier for the people around him to spy on the Tao. The deeper the contact with him, the easier it is to comprehend. Chun Yaozu, Zhang Weiyu, and Nan Yunyue all entered true God after coming into contact with him. Wu Chuan, Wu Quishan, Li Changsheng, these people were also influenced by him. They became stronger quickly, and their path of origin progressed at a tremendous pace." The old man continued to narrate, saying softly, "So, the place where he was born, the place where he grew up, might have some traces left behind." The middle-aged martial artist could not help but ask, "Senior, is he the reincarnation of the demon emperor?" Emperor said he shouldn't be. The old man chuckled. Unquestionable Sword might not have reincarnated. With Unquestionable Sword's personality, the possibility of him reincarnating and cultivating again is not high. Fong Ping is just a bait he used to distract some people. However, in Emperor's eyes, Fong Ping might be more important than Unquestionable Sword. Now, Fong Ping and Zhang. These 2 might be the key figures in the future. Zhang Bianxiang was too fast, and Fong Ping was the same. Of course, Fong Ping might be the person Zhang pushed out to divert attention. After all, this change did not start from now. It started decades ago, but that person is too strong. Even Emperor will not test him easily. We have 2 goals in coming out of Outland this time. First, confirm or eliminate the possibility of Fong Ping. Second, blend into the human world. As soon as he said that, the middle-aged martial artist nodded slightly. He also picked up his teacup and took a sip. He smiled. So we're all dressed like this now? Just to blend in? It's also to fight for opportunities for ourselves. The old man smiled. We've been stuck in the origin realm for too long. Junior, don't you want to become a true god? Then if we come to Sun City, if we're discovered, won't it easily cause conflict? The old man smiled. We're just here to take a look. Someone is watching us in the dark. We're just here to take a look. Why would there be conflict? Coming here openly is more sincere than coming here in the dark. Shaving our hair and changing our appearance are actually expressions of goodwill. Coming to Sun City is to attract Fong Ping's attention. Maybe we can take the opportunity to get close to him. Previously, when Heaven recruited powerhouses everywhere, they did not pay too much attention to this person. Emperor did not want to be meddlesome and did not open the realm gate. Now that we're taking the initiative to seek refuge, won't it make people wary? Coming here will soon be known by him and others. Maybe we can see Fong Ping soon. Everyone present heard what the old man said. This time, there were more than 20 martial artists, old and young. It was not a small number. A young man heard that and frowned. Master, I heard that Fong Ping is extremely domineering. He's also extremely hostile toward Outland. Are we really going to take the initiative to find him? Don't be arrogant. The old man chuckled. Although this person is domineering, I've read all his information. His domineering attitude is only toward his enemies. What if we're friends? The old man was wise. He said softly he also has some good friends in Sun City. They've also embarked on the path of martial arts. Previously, those who observed Tomorrow City ignored these people. That was a big mistake. When Fong Ping was in Sun City, he had received Tan Jinping's kindness. Observing those people tomorrow, he felt that this person's aptitude was mediocre, so he did not mind. Fong Ping did not seem to care about these people. What would happen if we took this person under our wing? Some of his good friends from the same time period, Yang Jian, Wu Zhihao, Lu Ruoqi. These people are only average in strength now. The old man had obviously put in a lot of effort and investigated very clearly. He had information on some of Fong Ping's high school classmates. He could even name them. As of now, these people's abilities are very ordinary. It seems like someone in Tian'an has already contacted Lu Ruoqi and Yang Jian. When I went to Tian'an earlier, I sensed the aura of some old friends. If that's the case, our targets are Fong Ping's good friends in Sun City. The old man spoke clearly and logically. Then he changed the topic and said, "Don't tell anyone about this." There were some things that venerable sovereigns could see through, but the other venerable sovereigns couldn't see through because they were involved. Dizun once said that the dragon transformation Heavenly Emperor might have seen something. If I'm not mistaken, some people from the dragon transformation Heavenly Emperor will also appear in the human world. Speaking of this, the old man was still a little proud. Some things, it was actually not that they could not see through, but some people were already bewitched. However, the Jade Long Heavenly Emperor of Soaring Jade Long was an ancient venerable sovereign of the same era as the dragon transformation Heavenly Emperor. Previously, the dragon transformation Heavenly Emperor protected Zhongtao in the land realm. It very quickly attracted the attention of the Jade Long Heavenly Emperor, who was also one of the four Brahmas. Although the dragon transformation Heavenly Emperor was at the end of his lifespan, after living for so many years, was he really so impulsive? Knowing that Chang Rong was also an ancient venerable sovereign, was he really so impulsive to fight the other party to the death so easily? Did he not know that once he fell and Chang Rong did not die, his dragon transformation Heavenly Emperor would soon become a thing of the past? At this time, the dragon transformation Heavenly Emperor should not rely on the power of his imminent fall to provoke enemies, but to befriend everyone. But the dragon transformation Heavenly Emperor did not do so. The Jade Long Heavenly Emperor made a slight guess, and there was the matter of the Jade Long Heavenly Sex people coming out of seclusion. The middle-aged martial artist waited for the old man to finish speaking, thought for a while, and said, "Senior brother, then we'll wait here now." "Wait!" The old man smiled and said, "Our strength is not weak. If we stay here for long, those people will not be at ease. Coincidentally, I heard that the Heaven Division will be gathering powerhouses from all over Magic City for a discussion. I think they will notice us very soon. It's good too. We can take this opportunity to get to know some powerhouses from the human world. After the old man finished speaking, his expression changed slightly. Very quickly, he smiled and said, "They should be here soon. It's faster than this old man thought. Yu Qing, go to Sun City Commander House, find Tan Jinping, and ask if he is willing to become Jade Long Heavenly Emperor's disciple." Jade Long Heavenly is one of the four Brahmas. The Venerable Sovereign is one of the most ancient Venerable Sovereigns. This is the greatest opportunity in his life. Everyone had an expression of extreme approval. Jade Long Heavenly, one of the four Brahmas. Dragon Transformation Heavenly, Jade Long Heavenly, Chong Rong Heavenly, Ping Yu Heavenly. These four Venerable Sovereigns were also stronger and older than the average Venerable Sovereigns. Becoming a disciple of Jade Long Heavenly Emperor, if placed in the God and Demon era, even some descendants of true gods would find it difficult to become a disciple. At this moment, a rank 3 martial artist becoming a disciple of Jade Long Heavenly Emperor was indeed a great opportunity for Tan Jinping. In the crowd, a woman who looked more shrewd did not say much. Very quickly, she walked down the 3rd floor and went to the commander house to find Tan Jinping. As for the old man, he looked into the distance. There, a rank 7 martial artist's aura was coming. It seemed like they were about to arrive. People from Sino Nation had arrived. This scene did not only happen in Sun City. In Sino Nation, which had been peaceful for many years, some mysterious powerhouses appeared one after another. Some were alone, some were with their disciples. Some appeared openly, and some were hiding in the dark. Wind and clouds gathered. The absolute peak did not appear. Fong Ping once again became the focus of attention from all sides. Far away in Magic City, Fong Ping was still preparing for the meeting. However, he had also received some news. This time's meeting might not only be a matter of the 6 holy lands and the various countries' governments. When Fong Ping received the news, he was deep in thought. Perhaps some ancient forces were unwilling to be left out and were preparing to get involved. "All of you come." In Magic City, Fong Ping murmured. Whether they were friend or foe, it was better to show up than not. While old Zhang and the others were still around, it was best to roughly distinguish between the enemy's camp and his, in case it would not end well later. Chapter 930. Shanghai, Heaven Division. Above the island, the energy was dense, divine splendor lingering, as if there was mist rising. The martial artists who came and went in a hurry to get things done were at least rank 6. What used to be an ordinary island and an unremarkable top military academy were now like a holy land, a realm of immortals. During the last battle in Magic City, Fong Ping had obtained quite a number of mineral veins. He had buried all of them in the Sky Island. As for the powerhouse's salaries, they were paid once a year. Fong Ping was not afraid of not being able to get his hands on energy stones. He did not save anything at all. How extravagant! At this moment, on the island, many people were observing the Heaven Division under the accompaniment of the experts. The one who spoke of extravagance was none other than an expert from suppressing Star City. The leader of the 6 great sacred grounds was Star City. At this moment, even the experts of Stellar Sky City had to admit that the Heaven Division was truly extravagant. Zhang Chao, who had accompanied them, curled his lips when he heard that. He mumbled, "You've never seen the world. You haven't even liquefied your energy. You call that extravagant?" Many people looked at him. On Star Town's side, Su Howren, who led the team here, glanced at the fatty helplessly. It's not easy to manage. The old man was very sad. Just last year, he had brought these kids out to participate in the youth tournament. They were just a bunch of rank 6 martial artists. In the blink of an eye, he had become a rank 8 martial artist. In the past, he could still hang this fatty up and beat him up. Now that he was a rank 8, it would not be easy to hang him up and beat him up. This time, there were many martial artists from suppressing Star City who came to the island. It was the first time for many of them to come to the Heaven Division. Jiang Chao was an old acquaintance of Fang Ping's. It was only natural that he would tag along. Su Haoran had hoped that this guy would be more reliable, but now he could only think about it. This guy was never reliable. In front of Fang Ping, Pudgy Jiang was very low-key. He did not keep a low profile in front of others. Even though he was being stared at, he said indifferently, "What are you looking at me for? Experience more. It's not that I want to nag at you guys, but you should walk around the catacombs more often. There's so many good places out there. Why are all of you holed up on Earth?" Jiang Chao, how many times have you been to the catacombs? How dare you boast shamelessly? The person who spoke was none other than Li Yiming. Jiang Chao was still arrogant as he said, "I don't care how many times I go to the catacombs. What matters is whether there are battles and whether there are gains. Although I haven't been there many times, I'm already a rank bait." Li Yiming, look at you. You're still a rank 7. You're a disgrace to the Li family. Li Yiming's face darkened. These words really made him want to beat someone up. This fatty was extremely arrogant now. Unfortunately, he was no match for this fatty. To be honest, no one in Suppressing Star City had ever thought that Jiang Chao would become a rank bait. When he returned as a rank 8, Suppressing Star City was on the verge of a riot. This guy could also reach level 8? Li Yiming was usually an arrogant person, but he also looked at strength. Fatty Jiang was stronger than him, so he couldn't be arrogant now. Li Yiming glanced at the arrogant Jiang Chao and felt a little helpless. This guy was extremely arrogant now. Arrogant. I'll let you be arrogant for a while. As he was thinking, Jiang Chao, who was arrogant just now, suddenly had a face full of smiles. His smile was terrifying, and he shouted from afar, "Minister Fang, you're here. You're coming out of closed-door cultivation this time, aren't you?" Having said that, Jiang Chao's fat figure floated past, hurriedly rushing over. Li Yiming's mouth was agape. After a while, he scolded, "Bootlicker, this damn fatty. Isn't he being too considerate when it comes to food?" His bootlicker was almost making people speechless. Fang Ping was still at the dock, a few hundred meters away. Su Haoran did not know whether to laugh or cry. "Don't mind him. This guy. I can't say anything about him." Although he said that, Su Haoran still laughed. It's not a bad idea to build a relationship. Look at this kid. His improvement in this year is scary. In the middle of last year, he was still a middle stage rank 6. Now he's already a rank 8. This Jiang Chao guy, since the beginning of last year, had been trying to get close to Fang Ping and the others. Even Su Haoran was envious of this rank bait. As he said that, he glanced at his granddaughter beside him, feeling a little lost. This silly child, wasn't she on good terms with Fang Ping and the others last year? This Jiang family kid knows how to get close. This little fatty is a guy, and he's ugly, yet he can reach rank 8. This girl of mine isn't ugly either. Why isn't there a follow-up? Su Zissou, who was looking around, clearly did not know what her old man was thinking. After looking at Fang Ping and the others for a while, Su Zissou asked curiously, "Why isn't Li Hansong here?" Everyone looked at her in surprise. Su Haoran was also a little confused. When did his granddaughter get involved with Li Hansong? But it didn't seem too bad. Li Hansong was now a rank 8 6th rank powerhouse, and Su Haoran also knew some things that most people did not. This person might be the reincarnation of an ancient top-notch powerhouse. If he really wanted to be with his granddaughter, although he felt that the ancient experts were too old, reincarnation couldn't be considered as a previous life. Su Zissou did not care about all this. She said, "Wang Jinyang isn't here either. Aren't they always with Fang Ping?" The old master was confused by her. Why did it have to do with Wang Jinyang again? Who did this girl fancy? Su Zissou, why did you think of them? Su Zissou giggled. Fatty said that Li Hansong likes a 10,000-year-old girl. Wang Jinyang has a young wife in her teens at home. I want to ask if it's true. Everyone's expressions changed in a myriad of ways. This is why you want to find them? Su Haoran held his forehead, feeling a headache coming on. He said helplessly, "Don't ask about gossip with this fatty." These gossips were obviously not good news. His granddaughter wanted to ask him in person, which would put him in a difficult position. It would be even more troublesome to fall out with him over such a small matter. After all, everyone still walked toward the pier. The host, Fong Ping, had arrived. The conference was about to begin. On the pier, Fong Ping naturally heard Jiang Chao's call. He felt helpless. First place on the leaderboard? This damn fatty had the guts to say that. He might as well say that he wanted a first place on the leaderboard. Ignoring Jiang Chao, Fong Ping released his mentality as soon as he arrived. There were many people this time. On the island, there were no less than 50 rank 9 auras alone. Almost 1/6 of the rank 9 powerhouses from all over the world had come. On the small island, the number of powerhouses gathered this time was much more than usual. Fong Ping also sensed the auras of many Sino Nation powerhouses. There were powerhouses from various tribes coming. On the heaven side, Tian Mu was waiting on the pier. When he saw Fong Ping disembarking, he smiled. Almost everyone is here. It's not good for so many powerhouses to gather in Sino Nation. When will the conference be held? Wait a little longer. Fong Ping smiled. There are still people who haven't arrived yet. I just received news that some grandmasters are coming. There are also some powerhouses from the boundaries coming. The boundaries? Tian Mu looked surprised. Powerhouses from the boundaries are coming? Emperor level? No, below the pinnacle. Tian Mu was surprised again. There are living people below the pinnacle in the boundaries? Among the 8 boundaries, Purple Cap Mountain and Quokang Mountain did not have living people below the pinnacle. Many people did not know about Wanwu Mountain at all. It seemed like no one had been there before. Could it be that people from the other 5 boundaries had come? Fong Ping nodded. There are living people in the boundaries. Actually, there have been speculations about this a long time ago. Now, it has been confirmed. The news came from the Department of Investigation Services. This time, people from 2 boundaries have come. Weiyu Mountain, which is known as the Second Grotto Heaven, and someone we are very familiar with. Taibai Mountain's Xuanda Grotto Heaven has come. Taibai Mountain's Xuanda Grotto Heaven? At this time, Old Man Li also rushed over. He said in surprise, "People from Taibai Mountain have come. The last time you went, did you see any living people?" "No, probably in the depths of the Sky Palace." Old Man Li frowned slightly. "Speaking of which, we owe Taibai Mountain a favor. Especially me. The Myriad Dao Unification Cultivation Method was given to me by the Lord of Taibai Mountain. Fong Ping, we have to be careful here. It's different from other places. Also, the Chun family might be from Taibai Mountain. Minister Chun and Guardian Chun are both closely related to Taibai Mountain. What do the other departments say about this?" The relationship between the Xuanda Grotto Heaven in Taibai Mountain and Hua Nation was indeed complicated. The Chun family was guarding the place, which meant that ancestral patriarch Chun was most likely from Taibai Mountain. The current minister of the 4 ministries and 4 prefectures was Chun Yaozu, and the guardian of the east was Chun Gaiang. Old Man Li had taken the other party's infinite unification technique. Fong Ping and the others had learned the other party's 9 golden body forging techniques. Of course, the 9 refinements of the golden body wasn't a big deal. The key was that he had taught everyone the brain nucleus conjuration method. After that, a large number of martial artists quickly entered rank 8 and rank 9. This favor was not an ordinary one. At this moment, Chun Chi also arrived. Chun Chi, who was usually a man of few words, seemed to have received instructions. He said, "Both Patriarch and Second Patriarch said that there's no need to discriminate. Just treat them as usual. The Chun family might have come from the Xuanda Grotto, but the Patriarch and Patriarch Zhang situations are similar. The Second Patriarch's achievements are also due to neo-martial arts." Fong Ping smiled. "Don't worry. I know how to handle this. The one from Taibai Mountain felt pretty good. This is also the first domain lord that I've come into contact with, so he should be all right." The owner of Xuanda Grotto Heaven had given Fong Ping a good impression the last time. Of course, they had never met before. However, the other party had given him a cultivation method, and Fong Ping had received many benefits. That was enough. In terms of favorable impression, the Xuanda Grotto Heaven ranked first among the 8 domains. The second was Quchang Mountain, where Tsang Mao came from. LV Zhun also came from. As for Purple Cap Mountain and Mount Amaze, Void, Mausoleum, Grotto, Heaven, although Fong Ping had some contact with them, he was not familiar with them. As for how he should deal with them, he would have to wait and see. Schwanda Grotto, Heaven, everyone had a headache at this moment. This family was indeed difficult to deal with. Whether he was a friend or a foe, he would have to wait and see. Everyone actually hoped that the Schwanda Grotto Heaven could become an ally of the humans. Otherwise, it would be difficult for the two top experts of the Chen clan. Fong Ping was also thinking about this, but he had a nagging feeling that he had forgotten something. It was related to the Schwanda Grotto Heaven. Forget what? Fong Ping was still thinking. Just as he had a clue, his train of thought was interrupted by Jiang Chao's wailing and howling. He could not help but curse under his breath. What was this damn fatty howling for? Just as Fong Ping was thinking about the Schwanda Grotto, West Mountain, high up in the sky, a group of people was in a rage. The leader, an old man, scolded in a low voice. When we go to the Heaven Division this time, find that Fong Ping. Don't say anything, just let him have a taste of our strength first. Regarding this, Fong Ping is ranked 33rd on the excellence list, the old man shouted. Then let's go together. I don't believe that we won't be his match, even if we work together. How dare the people of the Heaven Division interfere? This guy stuffed a few monsters in and didn't care. We've been cultivating in seclusion for so many years, and now we've become slaves to feed monsters. Even the sect leader has a headache because of this. Shouldn't we settle the score with him? Fong Ping had forgotten something. Now he understood. Monsters. Back then in the Schwanda Grotto Heaven, he forcefully stuffed a lot of monsters in and ran away after that. He did not consider anything at all. The old man said again, also that guy moved all the soil in the outer sect. The old man did not know how to curse anymore. When they walked down from the Sky Palace and saw the potholes in the outer sect, they were dumbfounded. There were people snatching soil. The outer sect was full of holes. When they walked to the mountain gate, they did not even look at it. That was not all. In the Imperial River, the water was shallower. The old man was depressed. The sect leader could even tolerate this? He did not kill the other party? If it were him, if he was there that day and saw this scene, it would be strange if he did not kill the other party. The old man was furious. The others also thought of this at this moment and nodded one after another. They wanted to fight. This person was too much. They were making a lot of noise. In front, Du Hong, who was leading the way, was a little speechless. This was not easy to answer. Forget it, he did not care anymore. The person in question was here, it was hard to say. Fong Ping and the others did get a lot of benefits in Shishan last time. He was envious before, but now that he heard about Fong Ping's evil deeds, Du Hong could not help but sigh. The last time Fong Ping entered the boundary zone, how did he ruin their mountain gate? As soon as these people from the Schwanda Grotto Heaven came out, they immediately began to inquire about the news, ready to settle the score with Fong Ping. Their resentment was very deep. Fong Ping had really forgotten about the monsters. As for the soil that was dug out, Fong Ping did not remember it. He had too many things to remember so much. He remembered some things just now, but he was interrupted by Fatty, so he did not think about it anymore. At this moment, Fong Ping began to chat with the powerhouses from all sides. The people from the 6 sacred lands had all arrived. The representatives from each country. These so-called countries must at least have a rank 9 powerhouse to be considered qualified to participate in such a meeting. Some small countries without a rank 9 powerhouse could not even be considered a country. As for rank 9, although there were many people, there were more than 300 in the world now. However, Sino Nation alone had about 80. The other 5 sacred lands also had a lot. The rest were concentrated in some strong countries. On the contrary, there were not many small countries that had rank 9 powerhouses. After counting, there were less than 20 countries that were qualified to participate this time. At this moment, Fong Ping was representing the Sino Nation government. After a few words with some powerhouses who came forward, very soon, the golden-haired powerhouse who was the leader of the Hall of God's side asked, Minister Fong, has Sino Nation confirmed the specific time for the meeting? I'm afraid there will be a decision on the King battleground soon. Fong Ping laughed. Soon. Wait a little longer. There are still people who have not arrived. By the way, if I may be so bold as to ask, is Mr. Zalicalo here? Zalicaro. The golden-haired powerhouse's expression changed slightly at the mention of that name. After a while, he smiled and said he had other matters to attend to, so he couldn't come to China this time. Fong Ping smiled. Zalicaro was not dead yet. Fong Ping did not know why old Zhang kept him alive. Could it be that he still hoped to use Zalicalo to plot against Li Zhu once? It couldn't be that simple, right? Fong Ping thought for a moment, but he was too lazy to think about it. Zalicaro had survived until now. Fong Ping suspected that old Zhang might have reached some kind of agreement with the other party. Zalicaro might have become a link between humans and Li Zhu. Fong Ping exchanged a few more pleasantries with the other party. When he saw Rosas, he nodded slightly, but did not say anything. A mere rank 7 did not have the right to converse with Fong Ping on this occasion. Fong Ping thought to himself, feeling a little smug. These fellows were incomparably arrogant back then. During the youth tournament, these people had even killed a few Sino Nation martial artists. Fong Ping did not have a good impression of them. Of course, Sino Nation had also killed their people, but Fong Ping had automatically forgotten about this. Fong Ping arrived at the Heavenly Division, exchanged pleasantries with all parties, and did not bother anymore. The other parties also arrived one after another. Black Brightness Sky, Observant Brightness Sky, Wuji Sky, and Thoughtless Sky had already sent people to serve in the Heavenly Division previously. There was no need for more people to come. These were 18 Xintian powerhouses. In the Four Brahmas, on the night of February 20th, the old man from Sun City and the others arrived. This was a Yulong Sky powerhouse. In the wee hours, Wang Hanyue brought Wang Ruobing and some dragon transformation powerhouses and rushed over through the catacombs passageway. This time, 6 of the 22 outer heavens came. Out of the 8 boundary lands, 2 came. Those who came to Sino Nation and Magic City actually meant that they wanted to cooperate. As for those who did not come, either there were no living people, or they did not want to cooperate and did their own things. Of course, some people might not come even if they wanted to. For example, Chang Rong Tian, the dragon transformation Heavenly Emperor, was not a joke. In the previous battle, they did not manage to kill Chang Rong Tian's Heavenly Emperor. This Heavenly Emperor, who was about to die of old age, had really blocked Chang Rong Tian's exit somewhere in the catacombs. Now he was preparing to live there for a long time. It looked like he had the intention of sitting there until the end of his life. Among the 4 Brahmas, Ping Yutian had not responded. It was unknown whether there was no one or he did not intend to come out. In the morning of the 21st, the people from Xuanda Grotto Heaven arrived. This time, Fong Ping took the initiative to receive the guests. In the end, when he arrived and saw the murderous expressions of the few people opposite him, he thought that the people from Xuanda Grotto Heaven were ready to find trouble. After chatting for a while and hearing the other party's indignant tone, Fong Ping then knew why the other party was unhappy. The few monsters that were stuffed in back then had nothing to do and would roar a few times in the middle of the night, disturbing these people's peace. Those monsters also had a personality that liked to fight. They often sparred in the outer sect, causing a lot of noise. In short, the Xuanda Grotto Heaven that had been quiet for thousands of years had not been quiet ever since Fong Ping left. At this moment, Fong Ping knew why these people were unhappy with him. After chatting for a while and asking about the other departments, knowing that the people from Weiyu Mountain were about to arrive, Fong Ping did not wait any longer. The meeting time was also set. On the 22nd, the International Martial Arts Conference would be held. The matter of the Martial King's battleground was officially put on the agenda. Chapter 9:31. In the blink of an eye, High Marshal had almost reached 5 million words, and it hadn't even been 10 months since the book was published. Old Eagle was still very reliable, Global High Marshal, taking a leave chapter currently in the middle of typing. Please wait a moment. After the content has been updated, please refresh the page to receive the latest update. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.